What's up? I think I'm on. Good. This is the best start ever. What's up? I'm Ryan with the BitLife Show. Finally, the name makes sense. Um, Today we're hanging out with Ari Rosen. Was it Rosenberg? I should know this. I looked at your name. You know him as Acro. You know him as Acroshi. We're hanging out with him today. It's going to be awesome. We've got a little bit of delay, so I'm trying to not watch the delay. Trying to watch the other thing that's going on over here, our stream. So I'll be watching questions as well. That's the good stuff right there. Might be off. I don't know. You shout at me, Segason, if something's weird. We're gonna hang out with Acro right now. We got a lot of questions. We have this wheel. It'll be fun. We're gonna do some random stuff, ask him some random questions, and just learn more about the person you know as Ekroshi. So without further ado, let's bring him on. Here he is. As you saw in that photo, the man, the myth, the legend, Acroshi. Welcome, Ari. How's it going, dude?
It's going good, dude. Thanks for having me on, man. It's good. Good
Yeah.
times. And for you, I'm actually having myself a diet soda. I don't do it often. So
Ooh, nice. It's a treat. Maybe that should have been our hot sauce challenge. Like you have to chug a whole diet soda or something.
oh man, I'd be burping a lot, but no, I'm down. I'm down. So,
That'd be great. Awesome, dude. Yeah, thanks for jumping on. So, a lot of people who are on right now know you already, but for those who don't, why don't you just give us the little elevator pitch? Who are you and what do you do?
so we'll start from the beginning real quick. So my name's Ari. Got the name from my parents. No, we won't go that far. No, I go by Acroshi. The name is basically Acro, which is an acronym for my name. Acro acronym, Ari Carl Rosenberg. The SHI, it's just a thing, play off Roshi, like the Buddhist term of Acroshi. I don't know. I thought it was silly, a DBZ reference.
Super deep. Yeah.
Yeah, not really. I do practice a little bit of Buddhism, but that's okay. I stream on Twitch because I figured it would be fun during the pandemic to have a gym partner. So the gym partner is my Twitch chat, and you guys come through and hang out with me. And it's kind of evolved over the past year or so, and we just kind of have this great community on Twitch. And you're coming on board, and yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to explain. It's just an ever evolving endeavor of just working out on Twitch and sharing positive vibes. And I have a bigger backstory, when it comes to like my brother and things like that. But we can get into that later. For now, I'm just Ari. Hi guys.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool because you point out that idea of like hanging out with somebody on the gym. And that's maybe why I started doing it at the end of last year. So people jump in when you're working out at home and you're hanging out and chatting, and you can actually get people to watch your form and be like, hey, dumbass, you're arching your back too much or whatever it is. So I've loved that. And you guys are all so freaking friendly. Like, dude, I don't know if you guys saw that picture before that I had up of Acro. That was not doctored at all. That picture is 100% copied directly from what was that? That was an Instagram post, I think. You and the dude from that comic book movie. See, I'm wearing a comic book movie shirt and I can't even get that. Let's see. But I ripped that there. And, if I were to see you in a gym, I'd be totally intimidated by you. I probably wouldn't want to talk to you because I'd just be so intimidated. But like I jump in and you're talking and I'm like, oh, dude, so nice.
I think that's like most gym bros, that's why I call my community the Zen bros, because a lot of us are just kind of like, we're just chill. I think a lot of us can relate to that. We're just kind of, we're into our bodybuilding, but really like we want to see everyone succeed. We want to see everyone kind of move forward in their fitness goals. And like, we want to help people, it's like, we've all been there. We've all been, at that spot where like intimidated by the gym and by people in the gym, seeing someone like me on Twitch is kind of nice, because you're probably going to be like, well, this guy's obviously on Twitch. He's probably a nerdy dude, plays video games and stuff, whatever. And then, you hear me and you're like, oh, I was right. Like, it's not so bad. And they give me decent advice, and it's nice. I like to be able to break the ice that way. So, especially with newbies.
Yeah. Yeah. Your video is paused, but I think they still have your audio. Guys, shout at me if he doesn't have audio and I'll do something to try to fix that. There we go. What was that?
Am I still paused for you?
Ooh. Yeah. You're paused in this great drinking soda pose.
Weird.
It's fantastic.
It's everything's working on my end, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll see if I could fix it. It's great too, because I do this stuff professionally and I've even done this type of thing. So we have like 8 people chatting. You bring them into OBS and then you stream it and it works. So yeah, audio's good. Maybe I can fix you with video here. Maybe I can try this real quick.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
This is a work in progress. There we go. I think I got you back. We're not those big streamers who have like 7 people working behind them. It's just us trying to figure shit out. So yeah. So you mentioned your brothers earlier too, or your brother. And did I see you have multiple brothers as well? Because you have the one brother who I believe has some disability, and you actually are trying to produce a film about, or a documentary on. And then I believe on your channel, I saw another brother who you helped lose about 100 pounds or something.
Yeah, so I actually have 3 brothers. My youngest brother is the one with the leukodystrophy. So it is a white matter disability. And I'll just go into it a little bit. Basically, I'm creating this documentary for him just to kind of like, be an advocate for him, give him a little bit more of a voice, because this disease stripped him of everything, walking, talking. It's like, kind of being bedridden and, not really being a part of the world, especially during a pandemic. It's like, let's show, who my brother is, especially for us as a family. He's like this guiding light for us. He's the reason we do a lot of things we do. And I really wanted to be that for him. And he's like my best friend. Great sense of humor. If you saw him, you'd light up, just because that's the person he is. It's like that magnetic personality. And, that's the reason I really want to do this documentary is it's awesome. Not for me, it's not for my family. It's really for Ben. So yeah, I think he knows that too. And like, that's why we're so close. If I was in the same position, he'd do the same for me. Right. So yeah, and that's that. I mean, I'm always gonna be hanging out with Ben. In fact, Ben is probably gonna be living with me more frequently now that we're moving into a new house. We can talk about that a little bit, but yeah, it's going to be awesome. You're going to see him more on stream, and very excited about it. My next brother, his name's Jake. He lives at home too. He's a very talented musician. He's awesome. He's kind of, doing his own thing, and that's cool. And then my brother, Brian, he's the older brother, 2 years older than me. And he lives in Seattle, or near Seattle, and he works in cybersecurity. But he was in a position a few years ago, or, like 7 years ago or so, where he had gained about 100 or so pounds above what he probably should have been weighing.
Right. Yeah. And
I moved out to Vegas. He was the one who got me a job in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I felt really humbled and like, grateful that he was able to get me that job. So in a way of me paying it forward, for him kind of boosting my career in a way, I was like, we're going to get you in shape, and we're going to kind of change your mindset around fitness. And what that did was it opened up doors for him to basically, build his confidence, have a look of, what does he call it? He calls it gravitas. He's like, he looks like he's a capable person, he would call it. And I'm not saying like people who are overweight aren't capable, but in society, people see like weight loss and they, it's favorable, to them. So it allowed him to kind of move in his careers and have the confidence to speak and buy new clothes. And it just kind of spiraled up. And I was talking about this in my stream today about how you can spiral up your situation. And that's what my brother did. And I felt like I was paying it forward in a way, what he did for me. So he's doing amazing. He's out in Seattle, working a great job, and yeah, I'm proud of him. Very proud of him.
Yeah. And I saw there was that video from maybe like 8 years ago. Is he still keeping up with it? Do you still keep up with him on that?
It's funny. That's one of the things I talk about on my stream, is how falling off the wagon is a part of the process in a lot of ways. A lot of people beat themselves up, and it's like a very draining experience to kind of fail, and I don't really call it failing. It's a learning experience, right? It kind of is.
Yeah. Let's keep it positive.
Right. So it's really about, understanding that, yeah, maybe I messed up for a little while, but I had fun. Now I can kind of relate to what this means. And I have the tools, I have the knowledge to lose the weight again. That's what I'm going to do. So I think he's on a journey now. It's been a stressful couple of years of the pandemic. So everyone's kind of been in their own world, doing their own thing. Maybe fitness has taken a back seat, and that's okay. But now he's starting to get back into it. And I don't think he gained all the weight back, maybe like, 20 pounds or so, or 30 pounds. But honestly, I'm still amazed by, the amount of progress he's kept up even still, like, especially with tracking his macros and understanding his nutrition. That's huge. Right.
Yeah. Well, and just creating that habit, and like you said, being okay with that failure. And we were talking today, I don't know If anybody can see, it's not dirt on my forehead, it's ashes. Today's Ash Wednesday.
Oh.
So today for my family starts off Lent, and we talked about, what are we doing to better ourselves, to, sacrifice. And one of the things I did is encourage them, like, hey, if you fail, like, that's okay. And if you know that somebody didn't do something the day before, just encourage them the next day. Don't be hard on them that they missed that last day. Encourage them to take that next step, because I think anyone who's been successful in fitness just knows that to be true. Like, yeah, you suck on a day like yesterday, dude. We were supposed to do this yesterday, but I was like, I was down with like a 24-hour stomach flu that my whole family had all over the weekend. And I was like, I'm good. I didn't get it. And I got it. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm only going to do some, I was deloading, but just really, really light stuff, and, felt terrible about it. But I was like, that's okay. Even if I didn't do anything that day.
See, here's the thing. Like,
that
were you
been a good day.
deloading on purpose, or was it on accident because you got sick?
Or did I get sick because I was deloading? Like my body slows down, and then all of a sudden,
it gave
everything
time
catches
for the
up.
Yeah, maybe, possibly.
You
I mean, I'm a bro scientist. It sounds correct. So.
Yeah, no, that's how my science goes as well. So, and you had created that video, I think it was like 8 years ago. And there's a bunch of content on there from 8 years ago. And then there's some newer stuff as well. Is that something that you're going to try to keep doing or do more of now that you're doing the Twitch stuff a lot?
I have a weird relationship with YouTube. I had been doing YouTube since like, the early days, 2006, 2005, somewhere around there. And we were on like Blip TV. I remember that, a few other things. I always tried
Jason.
Jason. Like I always tried to create content, and it was always something silly. And I think we discussed this a little bit. I've been into production since like, 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
And I always try something new, but it was never for a good reason. It was always like the next thing, like being a silly comedian or something. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then with fitness, once that started, piquing my interest, I was like, I can start making fitness videos, and YouTube was easier doing that because I didn't feel as, I guess, stressed out or as like, obligated to like create a new video. It was good. I was doing it automatically. It's kind of what Twitch is for me now. I can just work out, showcase my workouts, and leave it at that.
No stress. Yeah,
exactly. So with YouTube, since I have Twitch to kind of replace YouTube, I have let YouTube kind of fall on the side. There's a little bit more production involved, more editing. And I'm just like, my day job is editing and media. So I just kind of, I don't want to get too sucked into creating, videos on YouTube. However, I have considered taking like my Twitch content and cutting it up for YouTube and creating something. But I'm trying to be less and less serious about what I put out there, even though like a lot of my work that's on YouTube, there is a handful of things that are serious. I like those pieces. However, I don't think it showcases like the silliness that is Acro. So like, I think if I was going to do something, it would be a little more silly comparatively to some of the other stuff that's on there.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think I've showed it on the channel once or twice, but I do a lot of work in the human trafficking realm, like public awareness. So that shit is so heavy. And even to the point where like my editor, like after creating one of these pieces, is just like, oh, I can't do too many of those. And I was like, yeah, it's really rough. It's people, telling stories about being trafficked since they were, or like groomed in traffic since they were like 3. And just like, I have a bunch of kids. And so that makes me just so angry to hear that. But then to see that this person has overcome that trauma to a degree and now helps other people, I always, I guess, see the hope in it. But my point being, after all that heavy stuff, like, I just want to watch reruns of The Office.
Sure. Yeah. You got to lighten it up, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Just goof around or something.
I'm in the same boat, like, especially with my work. So my work is working like nuclear cleanup and nuclear science. So it's kind of a serious thing. So like, I would like, at the end of the day, it's like, I just want to work out. I don't want to make content or any serious content after that. And I just want to sit around, like watch Rick and Morty or like Futurama or something. Like, that's like, yeah, I'm in the same boat. And going back to like talking about the work you do, and it's like, if you think about the work you do with human trafficking, and if you knew one of those people, who's human trafficked, and you were doing like, let's say, editing and filming for them, I'm just comparing this to my brother's story. It is so overwhelming that it's like, I have taken really long breaks from my documentary because I'm living it, and I'm learning more as I'm living it. So it's very interesting. It's this whole creative aspect, it kind of takes a back seat, when you're living it like that. Right. So I totally understand your editor. I think even more on a personal level, definitely. So
yeah, it's intense. And we try to balance it with those other things. Yeah. Let's see. Is it Daymondo or Diamondo? I always say like day, but I feel like it's supposed to be diamond.
It's
Jason.
Diamond. Yeah. Diamondo. Yeah.
Yeah. Jason says this explains his freak gains, the radiation. Christian vibes.
Possible.
Accreditation. Yeah. Trying to come up with a new word there. That could be a really good emoji.
Well, I've rebranded. I don't know if you knew this, but I've rebranded like 3 times.
Really?
Yeah. So I think it's like an ongoing joke that everyone like thinks I'm going to rebrand again. So when I started, my name initially was Acrolicious, right? And I still have like a few accounts that are Acrolicious. I don't know why I didn't like it, but then I switched over. And then Terrible Hime, shout out to Terrible Hime. She was like Acro the Great, because I was doing a lot of magic, on stream. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm a magician. It's like
dude.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna make part of the wheel. Give us a magic or do a magic trick. So I'm gonna update that.
So I was doing a lot of magic on stream initially, and she was like, Acro the Great. And I was like, okay, I wanted to put like, I have so many stories, but I was like, okay, I'll deal with that. I'll do that. And I did Acro the Great for a while. Moved on to Acro Zen Bro because I thought Acro the Great kind of sounded like, self-congratulatory. I don't know how you want to call it, but it wasn't very good. And then it eventually evolved into Acroshi. I'm sticking to Acroshi, guys. Sorry, no more rebrands. That's it.
Yeah. For the next 5 minutes at least. We'll see. You heard it here first.
Yeah. I actually like this Ac Radiation. That's pretty good. All right, we're rebranding. Never mind.
Ac Radiation. Yeah. Just click. I think if you click that, it'll change right now. Yeah. Holder Hack J Mondo. That works. That could be a good rebrand. Acro, the man of a million names. Who was it? Somebody was asking like, what's the BitLife show? What's the show? Because they're like, what do I call you? Do I call you Bit? Do I call you BitLife? I'm like, okay. So I didn't think about what I would be doing when I created this name. So, I don't know, 5 years ago, we were doing a bunch of YouTube work actually. And I had maybe 3 other people who would do it with me. And they were doing 1-minute reviews of games, 1-minute reviews of movies. One dude was doing Minecraft and just some other fun stuff. So we were kind of doing that. And so that's kind of where the name came from. But now I'm just justifying it, being like, yeah, this is the show. This is the BitLife show.
I see. When I heard BitLife, I thought Bitcoin. So I was like, oh, cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Well, and the name kind of comes from like bits, like it could be little parts of your life. Sure. So I like movies, I like games, I like fitness. These are all little bits, but then it's kind of a play on bits and bytes and, nerdy stuff. So, if my glasses aren't big enough already, you can tell.
Like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Daimon, damn it, I'm going to say it wrong again. Jason says he's changed his name 4 or 5 times as well. Yeah, I guess you can change your name here like every 60 days or something.
Yeah, something like that. And Jason has the same issue I do. It's this, it's like a slight, I don't want to classify it as a identity crisis, but we have those,
Yeah. Well, yeah, like the Acrolicious or whatever. Like if you look at like your first AOL or your first Yahoo, email address, you're like, okay, I was kind of a piece of shit kid. Like mine, I think was like great RF, like great Ryan Fring, like, obviously had a big head about that. And you think about like big master player or something like that at yahoo.com.
It's funny you say that, but my first name was Acro the Great. And you're like, I was kind of a piece of shit. Now I'm like, well, yeah, I feel like a piece of shit. So.
No, you've grown to be the watchman.
Right to change. Yeah. I was right.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's spin the wheel. We haven't spun the wheel yet. This can be fun. Let's see if this will work. We got the wheel. I've got a button over here. So I think there's 9 things on here. I removed charades because I was like, I can't do computers at the same time that we're interviewing. So we got some physical challenges here. We got some mental challenges. We've got some stories, to get to know the real Ari Acrolicious. So let's see what this is. Ooh, Jason said, Sand Beast, Unicorn Delta, Sand Bay Apocalypse, Architectical, Diamondo Hanzu. Wow. Diamondo Fit.
I'm pretty good friends with Jason. I'm just going to say straight off the bat, that dude is just giant dweeb.
Yeah. It looks like at least 3 of those are anime related. Yeah. Somebody said, are they Pokemon?
But he's half Japanese, so he has,
Oh, nice.
it has to be in there, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
he's an
cool.
architect, so
Let's do this. Let's do the wheel. Oh, you can't actually see the wheel. It's on the stream though.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, spinning 10-pound dumbbell hold. Okay, so this is dumb. Some of these are just dumb and maybe they won't work, but I think it could be funny. So you got to grab a 10-pound dumbbell and you got to hold it out. And we're going to see who can hold it out the longest.
I just did shoulders. I'm really excited
I know.
to have you win this.
All of these are shoulder moves.
Okay, 10 pounds. All right. 5 pounds, right?
All right. Oh, let's see. I probably should use my left hand so I can mouse with the right. So, lateral. Yeah, there we go.
Wait,
okay.
Do we want to like count it off? You want to rest for a second, then?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. We gotta. All right. So.
Yeah, shake out that shoulder.
Yeah, take some deep breaths. You doing right or left hand? Should we?
I'm doing left so I can still mouse with the right.
All right. I will do left as well. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, I guess you can see it. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Now somebody's got to come up with a prize. I don't have any prizes. Yeah. Sagano Prito says fake weights.
Yeah, mine isn't fake. This feels terrible right now. I just did a full shoulder workout.
I know there's got to be, I got to come up with something, some kind of reward. I'll think of something and I'll send it afterwards. Maybe
now, does it have to stay like out or can it like come in a little? Like, cause I can change what muscles are holding it.
I'm very okay with you coming to a front raise, you know, from the lateral raise. I'm very okay with that.
I'm already shaking.
I know. I don't know if I can. I'll have to like turn my body to do that.
Okay. Well,
because I got the mic here. Yeah. The prize is TikTok leggings, but Acro already has them. And I don't
sure
want
you have
them,
10 pounds.
so.
Why does mine feel so much heavier than yours looks? You don't even look like you're struggling.
Okay. So here's the thing that blows my mind. Like you're so muscular. And you're like doing bands and you know, you're cranking on those bands. But I expect I don't know. I expect you to be doing. Dude.
That's it. Couldn't do it.
This is the only time in my life I've beat.
That's okay.
Will beat you.
You can have that one. But yeah, the band thing. It's like, you know what's funny? I actually, just to go back to the band. So I had started the band thing specifically to help my brother, you know, who lost the 100 pounds.
Yeah.
To get into lifting while he's at home because the gyms weren't open. And then my buddy who one of my old roommates to get him involved. So it was literally, I put a video up just so they could see what the workout was because they trained with me for years.
Oh, sure.
And I knew they were sitting at home doing nothing. So I was like, let me create a little video for them. And I go back and I watch that video and I know a lot of people are using it.
By the way, I got to do the other side because now I'm uneven.
Yeah, I feel uneven too. So you're right. I should do that too. Yeah. So I created this video and they barely used it. And I was like, well, I'm going to keep doing this workout plan. And I did on Twitch and it just kind of like sprung from there. And I did use weights early on, but there was a long period of time where I was just using bands and
Sure.
I swear by them. You know, I think they're amazing.
Yeah. Well, and maybe we could hear a little bit more of your story because you actually trained and competed, right?
Yeah. Not with just bands though.
Not with just band, but could you now? You know, could you with where your body is at now?
It depends. So, like, I think. All right, that's enough for me. I think with I think doing men's physique, you know, upper body stuff, which is majority of like what you would do. Because I don't know if you know about the different competitions. Excuse me.
Yeah, I know nothing.
So men's physique is where guys are wearing board shorts.
Okay.
That's the competition I competed in. Same thing with Diamondo. And then there's classic physique where you're using, you know, the banana hammock, you know, the
love
anyway.
Them.
And then standard bodybuilding or men's open bodybuilding would be men's like wearing a bikini type thing, right? Okay. So I did men's physique, which is the board shorts. So in theory, since a lot of it is just upper body dominant, you probably could build a pretty good physique with just bands and have a physique that's similar to, I don't want to say today's men's physique, but probably men's physique of like 15 or 8 years ago. They're a lot smaller guys, but we don't have to talk about that because a lot of these guys are just on massive amounts of drugs, and we don't have, naturally, I trained naturally for the majority of my career up until September. I got on TRT, which we could talk about at some point too. But back to the bands, you totally can build a pretty good physique, that's reminiscent of, the standard beach bod, that you'd see anywhere, like the Zac Efrons, right? You totally can. You just have to be creative.
Not Zac Efron from High School Musical, but Baywatch.
No, the High School Musical. That's as big as you can get with bands. That's what I was. I think, I think, I don't know about as shredded, but as much muscle, I think, definitely.
Yeah. And I think that's a fun part of the community too, because then you see, people doing different things, and I see a lot of guys doing kind of full body stuff pretty regularly. Right now, I'm just doing isolation. What is it? PPL. I think you mentioned that one time. PPL and bro, alternating between those. I was like, okay, what the hell is PPL? What's bro? But push pull legs, and then just bro, like, what is that? Like chest and arms.
Yeah, so like bro split would be you're really dedicating like one day a week to a specific body part, right? So a bro split would be like you're just doing a chest day, right? You might do chest and arms. So my split, for example, is like a marriage of like PPL and bro split. And I did this for a scientific reason. It's to split up my volume, my weekly volume, into 2 parts. So I'm lifting like chest one day, and then I have a supplementary chest day on my tricep day, where I'm actually doing dips to hit my chest. So I'm trying to split up the volume, so I'm not doing as much and fatiguing myself on one day. But it's just something I created, based on my schedule. And like every routine, in theory is fine, as long as you're hitting, the adequate volume, minimum effective volume, they call it, and making sure you're not like building up so much fatigue you can't grow and you're like prone to injury, right? So
yeah, sure. That's fascinating, because I think primarily I do it's kind of more bro with a little bit of the PPL. It's a PPL split, but it's really kind of concentrated on those groups. So Monday, and this is the Bigger, Leaner, Stronger from Mike Matthews. So I had a trainer. I started off with the V Shred dude like 3 years ago, who apparently he ripped his shit off from other people.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me, they're like, oh, that guy's terrible. Here's why. And then I forgot why they said, but the content at least, kind of got me going, and 3 years ago got me going. And then I hit a plateau where I couldn't lose weight. I couldn't gain muscle. I couldn't lift heavier. And so my wife got me a trainer for Christmas. And so last January, I started with that trainer for like 4 months, and he got me into this new regimen. And I had kind of built my gym back here by then. And that really helped get me over there. So volume went up, as well as,
probably diet, right? Changed a bit.
Oh yeah. And diet was big on that too. So, those 2 things got in order. And after that, because it's very expensive to have a personal trainer.
Sure.
I went with Bigger, Leaner, Stronger, Mike Matthews, and I was like, oh, this is basically the same stuff. So it's the double progression. So you're going up in weight, and when you get 6 reps, so you're trying to get 4 to 6 reps of the big weights. When you get those regularly, then you can go up in weight and you can go down in reps. So like try to get at least 4. Okay. So we're trying to keep it like 80% of your 1 rep max, trying to do 4 to 6 or 8 to 10 reps, depending on the exercise. And Monday is, what is it? It's like bench, incline bench, dumbbell bench, and then tricep push. So it's push.
Okay.
Then your pull is deadlift. What is it? Lat pull down. There's a calf in there, and there's one other.
Probably some sort of rowing movement
in there. Yeah, that's right. So bent over barbell, I think.
Okay.
Kind of similar thing for each day. So after we're done with chest day, we don't have chest day. We don't have chests.
It sounds like it sounds like it's kind of like what we'd classify as power building, where you are trying to lift heavier, and you're probably not quite in the powerlifting rep range, but you're getting close, right? Usually a bodybuilding split would be like anywhere from 8 to like 20 reps, and you're down in that 4 to 6 range. So you're like pretty much on the cusp of like powerlifting. So they call this kind of like power building. And that's how I built my base. I mean, really, power building is where it's at, especially like when you're trying to build a good foundation. Yeah. So I think you're doing it right.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Jason is like, V shred is a joke. Yeah, at some point I was just like doing this, and I'm like, is this doing anything for me?
You know, it's funny.
That's why I needed the trainer.
I was explaining to chat today that I had started out with what they call on the bodybuilding.com old days. They had these things called trainers. And I don't know if you're familiar with this guy's name's Chris Gethin. And he's like one of the athletes on bodybuilding.com. And he had a trainer that was a 12-week program, but it was so cookie cutter that it's like, I didn't know anything about macronutrition. It was just like, do these things. So it worked for me for a little while. And then I was like, why? Like, this just doesn't seem right. So I had to learn about macros. I had to like find new resources to develop what my routine is now. And over time, it just became like second nature. And I think eventually that's what happens to like the veterans in the space. They kind of just know what works, you know, and it's a little different for everyone, but the principles are the same, right?
Yeah. So when did you start your journey?
So officially, I had started in 2009, and it's a funny story. I'll explain that I played Counter-Strike 1.6. I don't know if you're familiar with Counter-Strike.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So
like what was the move? The 360 snipe, sniper shot in the head.
Yeah, so I needed to train my arms so that way I could perform that maneuver. No. We actually were a part of a Counter-Strike team and played like semi-professional Counter-Strike. And I was on a team with my buddy Joey, and he had a team called, listen to this, the team was called Joey Avino Male Models. We were called JAM, JAMM, right? Me and my buddy Ed, we were part of this team, and we were like, we don't look like male models. So like one of the things that he wanted to do, because, you know, we're like in our early 20s, like 19 or something. Yeah, 21 or something like that. We were like, we got to start working out so we can fit the build of the JAM models. Because like there were some guys on there who were built and like, you know,
for our Counter-Strike team.
For our Counter-Strike team. That's why it's a funny story. Yeah. So we thought we were so cool, but I didn't really care because I was just a little nerd. But I think he had a little more body dysmorphia than me. And he wanted to like get in shape, and that's fine.
Oh yeah.
So we went to the gym. The first few years, we were just like, first year or so, or 6 months, we were working out in my basement. We got some weights, and then went to a gym. And we kind of fell off, got injured. You know, we were doing dumb stuff, didn't know what we were doing, didn't really have a trainer or anything. We were just playing with weights for the first couple of years. I had moved to Las Vegas. We stopped doing the Counter-Strike thing. I moved to Las Vegas, but I had still kind of worked out.
Is that you moved to Las Vegas when you were helping your brother?
I moved to Las Vegas actually for that job. Yeah, that my brother Brian got me a job.
That's right, your brother got you the job. Yeah.
So I had left Rhode Island, which is where I'm now. Again, we didn't know about my brother's condition, how far it would go. So like we thought he was going to stabilize, but another story, another time. Moved to Vegas, was there for about 10 years, worked in for the Nevada National Security Site, moved around there. But during that time, I was just getting really into lifting. I was like, there was nothing else. I didn't really have a lot of friends there, and I was just lifting. And me and my brother were lifting, and a couple of my other friends were lifting, but that's all we really had. It was like prison. No,
just like prison.
So I developed a pretty decent physique naturally, and a few friends at the gym. You know, it's Vegas, so there's a lot of competitors who were like, you should compete. And I just decided to do a show one day. I had like 4 weeks till a show, and I was like, I'll just do it for fun. Right.
Wow.
And I went on stage, and I got second call out of 45 guys, and I was hooked. I was like, man, maybe there's something to this. Maybe I can actually do these shows. Started lifting more, you know, I started learning more, got a little bigger, did another show in 2015, won that show, which is great. And yeah,
which is the one, you've got one picture, you're super tan and super thin, and you're like posing with a lady.
Yes. Yeah. From that. Yeah. So that was for one of the
2015?
shows. That was 2015. Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're probably going to whip out some of these photos, but
I might just have photos.
Yeah. So I did that show, won it, did pretty well in the overall, didn't win the overall, but yeah, it was a good showing. But after that show, I was having some really weird, and I was having weird symptoms, sciatica symptoms. And that's where my back injury came into play. And I actually got worse because I was lifting my brother, Ben, the disabled brother, onto a plane and really messed up my back. And from there I had to get surgery. And it's just been
Oh,
like,
wow.
it's been this like, balancing act for me. It's like building muscle, but not hurting my back. So it's like, I have to be very cautious of like spine loaded movements. So that's why I don't really squat or deadlift very heavy anymore. And that's why you see me use bands and like dumbbells mostly, because it's safer for me. But
Oh, sure.
that's kind of like how this all spiraled into like Twitch. And I'm like, I can show you that you can still do this stuff without being a giant gym bros, like lifting heavy weights at the gym. Right. So yeah, kind of full circle.
Yeah, I love that. I love that it started, from something so nerdy, and hopefully it can go back to nerd. Like, do you play any Counter-Strike right now, or?
I actually don't play many games at all. I've actually got kind of like,
Hmm.
I don't know, not bored of them. I'm just, I can't get into them because I become so hyper competitive. And I'll tell you this,
Oh,
like
sure.
this past few years, I talked about Buddhism a little bit, just kind of
Hmm.
changing
Mm-hmm.
my philosophy on life a bit. And I've kind of had this, but I kind of like jumped into it a little further, especially after the pandemic. And, I realized like I can still play games, but I can't get attached to them that hard, because
Mm-hmm.
I will just
Mm-hmm.
become hyper competitive and insufferable. And yeah, it's not a good look for me anymore. But I can still play casually, with my friends. I do periodically with Diamundo and a handful of people. But yeah, I don't game that much. It becomes such a time sink that I really don't want to invest in. But working out, I'm good at working out and doing it on Twitch and like, doing nerdy stuff here. So
Yeah, well, and health and fitness seems to be the thing that you can be intense about, to a certain degree, to a large degree, and people are like, "Oh, cool, teach me."
right. Yeah. And to me, and I say this on my stream, it's for me, it's like, yes, I can give back, and get people to become healthier. And also
Hmm.
it's a very meditative experience for me. It's like, it's what traditionally is called a yoga, right? It's like where you're doing something where you're just in the mode with it,
Hmm.
you're in tune with your body, in tune with your breathing. And, yes, you are getting some, aesthetic feature, or like you're getting some external effects, but like
Yeah, there's positive
internally,
feedback too. Yeah.
right. It's just exactly. It's this positive feedback loop that, I really gravitate toward. And I'm hoping more people, especially from my stream, are doing that too. And I want
Hmm.
them to see it's not really just about having abs and pecs and stuff. It's that stuff goes away. It goes away. It's
Hmm.
really about like appreciating the process and just being like in tune with it. And then it kind of develops you as a person a little more. You have a little more discipline for other aspects of your life. Case in point, my brother. Right. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I feel that because I kind of started my stuff, and then my brother-in-law, who's 5'8", when he stands on his tiptoes, he has a disabled son, and he's how old is he? He's 5 now, I think, and his son is big, and he's like, I need to get stronger because I'm struggling now to lift him around and stuff like that. So he started his fitness again because he, on again, off again, to get big so he can take care of his kid, which is fantastic. And
Yeah.
he's also one of those intense people as well.
Mm.
So it's a good thing to be intense about, especially when it's directed at,
Exactly.
family.
It's funny because my brother says this. He's like, when you get my older brother, he says, when you get too involved in too many hobbies and too many
Mm,
projects, he's like, you are all over the place and like you're never satisfied. But he's like, direct your attention. And this is a big tidbit that like I ignored for a long time. And then eventually I was like, you're right. He's like, direct your attention onto like one or two things and make those your life's mission, right?
mhm.
And that's kind of what I've done. And like that's why things like my documentary kind of took a side, because like the fitness and Twitch, like it's kind of a side hobby that I take pretty seriously. But
Mhm.
the big thing for me is like being there for my brother, for now. So it's like I
Right.
have to be able to like do that, and that's kind of what feels the best to me. That way I'm not
Mhm.
all over the place, because being an intense person, it can become overwhelming. So yeah,
Yeah, no, I get that, and I bet there's a lot of people on the stream that understand that as well.
sure. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and Jason says he does it just so he doesn't have to wear any clothes, which is kind of nice,
Yeah.
to not feel bad, but also that perspective of like, hey, I'm okay taking off my shirt, like even when I am a little heavier, trying to get that perspective of like, no, I'm comfortable this
Yes.
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the important thing. Hopefully, we can get. But yeah,
Hmm.
I like to joke about it. Like, I want to be doing stuff. I want to still be training when I'm 60. I want to still be somewhat fit. I don't
Sure.
imagine I'm going to be anything like I am now, or where I get in the next few years. But if you're still doing it, should be somewhat useful. And then by that point, like, hopefully I've overcome any type of psychological thing. And I'm like, I don't even care. Yeah, I had surgery and this is like this. And now that's just me. And hey, we're hanging out,
I think ultimately that's the goal, right? It's to
Yeah.
master the psychological part, because, once you're okay with everything, everything's game, it's like I'm cool with anything and I can take on anything I want and I can let it go too. So I think there's that aspect that's like, when people get so down on themselves, specifically for like not being able to like achieve their goals, it's like pushing them down like further into that rabbit hole of like not being good enough, when it's reality, it's all in their head. And it's like, once you can master that aspect, man, the world's your oyster, right? So
yeah, and some of us just have to work out constantly in order to hope to master that.
Yes, and the discipline does help. Having a discipline does definitely help. So
yeah. All right, let's spin a wheel here. We haven't done that in a while. I've got a lot to spin. Let's see. Okay. I think I could just click this button and it'll work.
Is it going to go back to holding dumbbells? Because I'm ready.
Dude, this is Celsi's wheel, and I edited it so that nothing comes up again. Yeah.
Dude, Celsi's the man. Shout out to Celsi. I love Celsi.
Yeah. Let's see. 30-second max push-ups. Okay, so we're only getting physical challenges right now, but that's okay. What I'll do, let's see. How do we do this? Because we can't hear each other without our headphones.
So I can actually, I can make this longer. I can hear you probably. And I can step back a little. I just need to set it up.
Okay. And then I'll start a timer. Let's see. I think I have a timer over here.
I wonder if I can switch my camera. I left my camera up. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see. Let's do this.
Yeah. In the gear, if you click the gear, you can change that.
Can we see that? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. Here, let's see. Maybe I can do that too. Let's see. Logitech. Is it working?
I might have to yell, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't switch my camera right now. There's too much technology going on. Okay.
So are you going to get a timer on your phone?
Yeah, I'll set the timer. We'll start at 35 and then we'll see who can crank out the most.
Okay, you just got to say go. Are we doing anything? Is there any catch to this?
There should be. There's not. Oh. Do the most you can in 30 seconds.
Okay, well, full reps. I don't know, no half reps.
No half reps. All right. And the chat will keep us honest. Here we go. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll wait for you.
Sorry, you just have to hold that for an hour while I set this timer.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
Let's see.
How do I look, chat? Do I look good? Oh, let me flex.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Okay, here we go. 35. Let's see. Oh, okay. One more second. See, this is how live production works. This even happens.
We're doing great.
Sometimes when we're streaming for a big corporation, we're like, oh, that one thing you didn't change that.
I'll tell you something right now. Chat couldn't.
Now this would be 35. So here we go. 35.
Okay.
I'll start at 35, so I have time to get down to the ground. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Here we go. 35. Okay. 33, 32, 31. Go. Time.
I don't know how long I was going, but I was going forever.
We'll count it. All
right, I didn't actually count, so. Oh, I'm breathy. Feels good.
Right. We need to be able to I got to figure out something to reward chat. Like if I could give you guys points or bits or something if you win, so that they root for you.
Oh yeah, well, listen, am I the first one to do the interview?
You're the first. You're the guinea pig.
Listen, that's fine. So
thanks for that.
You can figure it out. This is all. It's like the points don't matter. It's like whose line.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm cool with that.
Let's see. Jason's out of here. He's sleepy. He'll be back tomorrow night.
All right, Jason. Catch you later, dude.
We'll tune in. Thanks for that. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's see. Okay, that was good. We'll get some more spins in faster because I got some real great photos and other things that'll be real fun. Yeah. So let's see.
I should post this on Instagram. Make sure I do that.
Post the video, or
I'm just gonna make sure people know we're live.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the most annoying thing about Instagram. You can't like post a link, so you got to be like, click on my profile.
You can post a link in your story. There's like a little thing.
Oh,
I'm teaching you.
Much technology. I know. I'm doing these interviews just to grill you guys and steal all your information for myself.
That's okay.
Oh my gosh.
We're here to help.
That feels good.
Oh yeah. I'm feeling pumped. I'm glad I don't have to do a chest day tomorrow.
Yeah. What do I got? I am actually deloading this week, which is really nice. Dude, after a deload, I feel like a monster. I love it.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how you just like, you want to lift like way heavier, but it's like, you probably should program. Like you need to program yourself.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's so great. Well, it's like, you rest in between anytime you do an exercise and when you do sets and when you do the whole muscle group. But, do you do it in between phases or like bigger training sessions? So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, and it also depends on like your general programming, right? Like how far are you pushing it? Like, for example, I've seen a lot of these guys on Twitch right now who are in powerlifting, competitive powerlifting, and they're very specific about how they deload, how they peak, do their maxes, and they go back to their program. And it's like, it's a science. They don't mess with it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even by feeling at some point. It's just like, I'm a robot. Here's what the program says. Do it, Well,
and that it seems like you're not maximizing your opportunity there if it's just that rigid, right? Because some days or some weeks or some months might not be as good as others, and so it seems like if you can go a little bit by feeling, maybe not a ton, maybe you only get like 5% difference, but
that's why they say like when you're doing a program, it's like it should be pretty conservative, because that way you're going to hit the numbers, and it's a slower process, but it's a more effective process, right? You're managing that fatigue a little better. That's why like when I train, sometimes people are like, what's happening? You're not PRing every week. It's like, well, no, I mean, that's not really how this works. Right. So,
right. I also like to joke too. And my wife was like, how long does your workout actually take down there? I'm like, well, maybe 45 minutes, but we're hanging out and we're talking about stuff. So it takes another 45 or something like that.
Yeah. So now that you're streaming, you're averaging about an hour and a half to 2 hours, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think
at least doubles the size or doubles the length.
When I'm at the gym with my buddy, I do slightly more work and I'm done in an hour, and I'm on stream sometimes for 2.5, 3 hours. And I'm like, I guess I'm still growing, but man, not very efficient, but I'm having a good time. So
no, that's just a part of the game. I love it.
Exactly.
So you said you work in media, and you work in heavy stuff during the day, and you work at a nuclear company.
Yeah. So my current job, I work for a company called Navarro. And we work as the environmental management contractor for the test site in Nevada. So we do a lot of the cleanup, a lot of the logistical stuff for moving waste, to and from the site, stuff like that.
And is that you got connected with them when you moved out to Vegas, and now you work remote in Rhode Island? Is that how that works?
Yeah. Okay. So I got lucky. So I worked for the test site. There's a few contractors. I worked for the main contractor there initially. I moved up my ranks, and that's a whole another story, but I moved from like IT over to communications.
Did it start with Counter-Strike again?
It started with Counter-Strike. No. I started in IT, and I was a casual employee. Don't have a degree. I actually dropped out of college. Went to school for film and communications, dropped out after my second year. Nice. Started working in news and stuff, and had my own little production company doing weddings and commercials. But once that dried up in Rhode Island,
that's how you do it.
Yeah, man. We missed it, but we'll get it next time.
It was so good.
Anyway, so I had the production company, and it was good for a while, and I was editing weddings, and it was very lucrative. But wedding videographers, some of them can be kind of untrustworthy. So I lost some money because they, a lot of them weren't paying what they said they would. So anyway, that dried up. I lost some of the trust with the contracts I had here. Ended up moving to Vegas because my brother got me a job and I was starting fresh. And it turns out that job needed someone full-time. Initially, it was just part-time. Got that full-time gig in Nevada. Worked there for about 10 years, 8 years, 9 years, something like that. But I went from IT over to communications because they found out I could video edit. So they were like, can you edit for us since we're starting to do more social media? I said, sure. That kind of spiraled up to actually supervising the creative services team. So I had my own team there. I actually moved from there to Los Alamos National Laboratory, which was a big deal. Worked at Los Alamos National Laboratory as like a supervisor for them. Didn't really love it there. It was just a lot of complications. Moved back to Las Vegas, started a business there. Pandemic hit. I had started like a part-time job for the company I'm working now, and I just got really lucky and I was able to work remotely. So here I am, just working remotely for the same contract, doing the same kind of stuff I was doing before, a little less involved, really, a little less dangerous. So that's good. And,
a little more distance.
A little more distance, a little more money, which is nice. But yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I'm very happy. And so now I can work remotely. And my wife is a respiratory therapist. She travels the country for the pandemic right now. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're just kind of like living. And, the pandemic has been a curse and a blessing. And we're very lucky that we're able to travel and I'm able to be here with my brother. That's the main reason we're here. So.
Oh, sure. Was she that kind of nurse? Did you say nurse or physician?
She's a respiratory therapist. So
a respiratory therapist. Was she that before the pandemic too?
She was a respiratory therapist for a hospital, but it was very different because I guess it wasn't really that different. She was just for a hospital, so she had like very set hours and things she was doing. Now it's all over the place and she's traveling and she works mostly night shift. So yeah, she's a trooper. My wife, shout out to my wife, Nancy. She's like, she made all this happen and like she's very supportive of what I'm doing. And a lot of the reason we're here in Rhode Island is solely because, she was able to make it happen. So yeah. Thanks, Nancy.
That's awesome. Yeah. I can imagine too. Like what was that? Did she get like called up, are they like, okay, we need respiratory therapists everywhere now? Like everyone's having trouble breathing. Like, so when it seems like that could be terrifying.
Right. So when we moved from Los Alamos, which she was a respiratory therapist in Los Alamos, back to Vegas, she didn't really want to work for the hospital system in Las Vegas. And the idea she had was, I'll just start traveling. So she started traveling by herself without me, and went on one in New Mexico and she liked it, made decent money and she was able to do her own thing. But she kind of hated that she was away from me and the dog, our dogs. I had to take care of the dogs. And she was like, well, maybe we just start traveling ourselves together. And when the pandemic hit, it was like a perfect opportunity to start doing that. So it was a really weird like lineup of events that, we ended up started traveling. We went to Oregon, went to Massachusetts, down to Rhode Island. And and the job hasn't really changed that much for her. It's been basically the same type of stuff. It's just different hospitals, different procedures. But yeah, it's a stressful thing for her. She's been in the heart of the pandemic in a lot of cities. And it's not easy, so you need some, sometimes you need some psychological meds, which she might be on right now. So, but she's doing great. And I'm very proud of her for getting through it. And, she really is a hero. She's doing an amazing thing. And she's, a lot of people have said that she has been like, kind of the core and the glue for a lot of departments. And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, I don't think she sees it that way, but she's really like holds it together for a lot of people. And I love that. Like, and she holds it together for me, so it's great.
Yeah. When you were like, hey, I'm going to be a Twitch fitness streamer, which means I'm going to stream my fitness on Twitch. Like, I guess she probably knew you. I don't know how long you guys have been together, but she knew you when you were competing or knew that you competed. So that was kind of a thing, but was that kind of weird for her or what was that?
Not at all, because actually, let me drop this in here. My wife actually streamed fitness before I did. She was known in the health and fitness community before me. She is Chun Ri on Twitch. Let me try and pull it up.
Oh, nice. I might be able to throw her up. So
yeah, I'll find a clip of her. Let's see.
There you go. This is a good one. All one word.
I'll post it here. Let me see. Okay. Do we have a chat in here? Here, just private chat.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice. Chun.
So that's my wife. She was streaming before me. I showed up on stream periodically, right?
Nice.
And yeah, so she got sick of it because it kind of got weird, and like, people can be weird online, especially the
Oh
women.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
she was kind
I
of
can
like
only
over
imagine.
it. And I had streamed a little bit. I introduced her to Twitch, but I had streamed a little bit. And then I was like, I'm going to take up streaming again because I was only working part-time. I needed something else to do while she was working. And I was like, I'll just start streaming my workouts. And she was like, okay. So once I started, I just kind of stuck with it, And yeah, she knows what it's about. She doesn't hate it. She doesn't love it. She doesn't like being on stream, but she knows I'm getting enjoyment out of it. And yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Is it okay if I throw this up? If I throw
Sure.
a stream up? Cool.
Yeah, I think she's okay with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So did you meet her through the fitness
No,
or before, or how does this
so
all
we
work?
we actually met on a website called Plenty of Fish. So it's like a website for
Nice.
relationships, but mostly hookups. And I think she had a lot of failed relationships, like not relationships, but like just failed like meetups, with these guys.
Sure.
And I was her last ditch effort. She saw me on Plenty of Fish, and it was like the second day I was on there, and we met. And we met because she was an Olympic weightlifter. She used to lift for a gym called the Average Bros, and his name is John Bros. He's actually a pretty
Oh,
well
funny.
known
Nice.
Olympic weightlifter or coach for Olympic weightlifters. And yeah, I was amazed. I was like, I kind of knew who the guy was, and I was like, it's cool you lift there. And I saw her on like Instagram, and like, she was pretty impressive, weightlifting wise. She's actually competed and done really well in competitions, and the fitness stuff really like started our relationship. That's what we had in common. And then over
Sure.
time, we just kind of grew together, and we kind of grew, and our goals have like shifted a little bit, but we're kind of, we balance each other very well, so I love
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and I think it's important, with a partner, wife or husband or
Mhm.
whatever, to have somebody who's supportive, because like video games, no one's like, oh, you're playing video games, great. But when it's fitness, and then I set up the gym, everyone is like, oh, that's amazing, can I come over, can I see it? And then I start streaming, and people are like, what are you doing? And then they figure out what I'm doing, and they're like, oh, that's really cool that you're doing that. I'm like, wow. All my other hobbies that are super nerdy, no one likes, but it's this. Again, it's that health and fitness. People are like, oh, this is so good, you should keep doing it. I'm like, okay,
Can I tell you something?
sounds
I
great.
actually cut off like most of my social media from like people I know in real life, so that way they wouldn't find out I'm streaming my fitness. Not because I'm embarrassed or anything, but just because I
Yeah.
feel like it would just get annoying. So like I actually cut off a lot of people, and like I only talk to them via text. But like my mom and dad know I stream fitness,
Yeah,
and
sure.
literally that's about it. There's a handful of other people who I know, but like a lot of people are clueless. So everyone I know on health and fitness, it's just from Twitch. It's just from meeting them here. I have some of the greatest friends from this community. We have an amazing community here. Like I
Mhm.
always talk about it in my stream, but we really do. It has like blown up. And yeah, like the IRL stuff, like yeah, it's great, like if they know, but like people who are really like-minded, who actually come here, gravitate here because they were seeking it out, that's really what this is about. People who want to be here.
Yeah. Well, and it's, oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. It's again that thing I was talking about earlier is like people do want to be here, and they want to interact. And it's this weird thing of like, I'm an introvert, but I do really love talking to people, but only in my own way. So like I love interviewing people. I love streaming and talking, there. But then it's interesting too, because like again, like I don't know that I would see like somebody like you at a gym, like I said, and I'd be like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm gonna go talk to that dude. But I see you on a stream, and I'm like, ooh, hey, you're really big. How'd you get big? What do you
Mhm.
think about this? What do you think about this? And I feel like I can ask you questions, or like I've jumped into, like tabs or terrible Hime or Joe workout, and like I wouldn't go up to a girl in a gym, but I feel
Mhm.
comfortable because they're chatting with people, and you're like, hey, what about this? You're rehabbing your knee. So it's interesting because like we're so far apart, but we're able to have these engaged conversations, that we might not be able to have outside of our boxes.
Yeah, I think there's definitely there's this dynamic, right, where it's like if you were at a gym and a bunch of people came up to you and started asking you questions, yeah, it would be weird, right?
Yeah.
But here it's like there is this like almost like, I don't know, anonymity, like you're a little more
Right.
anonymous,
Right.
like
Right.
people aren't seeing what you look like, you don't feel shy, you can just kind of say, hey, your traps are big, how do I get bigger traps? And it's like if someone walked up to me and said that, I'd be like, what the, like, why, where'd you come from, dude? Like, what the heck? Put your pants
Yeah.
on. No, it's like it just feels it feels a little more I don't know, it's a little easier, like
Mhm.
for people, right? Just way easier. So I
Right.
like that aspect of it. It's kind of messed up because, you know, this doesn't really help people like getting to the gym, because I feel like if they saw me at a gym and I was able to talk to them, I feel like they'd be more comfortable at a gym or lifting weights, you know, because it's a little, you know, being
Oh,
hands
sure.
on. However, you know, at least getting the advice and getting like some sort of interaction with someone who kind of knows what they're doing is nice, you know. So it's not the best, but it's a happy medium, I guess, for people.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and it's like you said, that anonymity can make it a little bit easier. And then I feel like too, also Segason says, "Give me traps now," which I think you can give. I think that there's a Twitch
Hmm.
command for that. You can just
Hmm.
send out traps to
I think
people.
Sega knows the command too, so you can figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Anonymity and that comfortableness. And I feel like I've gotten some people who've jumped in and like, "Hey, I'm interested in fitness. What should I do?" And I'm like, "I don't know what you should do. Here's kind of what I've done and what I found works," and just talk to them. And then they come back another day and they're like, "Hey, I started walking." And you're like, "That's awesome." And then they come back another day and they're like, "Hey, I bought some dumbbells and I started doing some stuff." And you're like, "Oh my gosh, keep coming, keep going back and keep doing it." And um, yeah, I think that's great. That mix of anonymity plus
Hmm.
you can just come back and like every day, every couple times a week, you can see that person whereas you might not be able to at the gym. But yeah, it's not as intentional one-on-one, but it's something different.
And you know what's pretty great about this community too is like once you're in the community and you're starting to get to know people, it's like you have these new resources where if someone asks a question, you can be like, well, I know a guy who actually knows a lot about bands, or
Mhm.
I know a guy who knows
Mhm.
a lot about running, you know, like here's who I think you should talk to. Because in this community in general, we're really not trying to like grab all the viewers and have our own little separate communities. We're really trying
Mhm.
to spread the love, because it's like we know how powerful fitness is for anyone. And it's like the more we spread that love, the bigger the community gets, the more known it is, you know, and it has nothing to do with the individual, it has everything to do with us as a whole, which I think is amazing. You know, it's like you don't
Right.
see this anywhere really. So I love it.
Yeah, well, it's at that raid train. Like I've ridden a train all day. There was one day that I was on probably until, from like my stream in the morning, I got raided, and then I continued that until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I was like, okay, I gotta jump off and do some stuff, kind of had it on. I was lurking in the background, but
I usually have like 5 tabs open or 7 tabs open, and then at the end of the day,
you're
it's on
checking
the
them.
same person. So there, everyone got rated to the same person, so
There you
it's
go.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's about time to hit that wheel again.
All right,
We've
yeah,
got
let's
some
do it.
we've got some good ones in here we haven't hit. I'm so happy. Like I spent several hours today fixing this wheel up to make it get rid of
It
stuff that
looks
we've
good. I
already
like it.
done.
It looks good.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, okay. So you already kind of did this, but this is the gun show. So I've got some music and I can play some lights over here. But this is why people come to fitness, I think, is because they want to see the gun show.
I think this
So
is about 90% of viewers, and then you turn them into fitness freaks for whatever
exactly.
one reason or another. So
Yeah, yeah. So you won't be able to hear it unless you're on stream, but I'm gonna play. Um, what the heck am I playing?
do I need to be shirtless for this? Is
Uh,
that another redemption or?
yeah. I mean, I think you get all the bits for that too. What are
All
we
right.
playing here?
Okay.
Here,
Well.
Walk This Way. That's what it is. Aerosmith. So
Okay. All right.
here we go.
We're actually going to do a shirtless flex for you guys, since this is a nice, beautiful occasion, you know. So
Oh, hang on. I have to find. Oh, my button didn't work. I love it. Okay, let's try this again. Walk This Way. Aerosmith. Play. All
they might be
right.
hearing it. I'm not going to hear it though, right?
Yeah, yeah. Give me 1 minute. All this was where I promise. Don't worry. Um, Audio output capture. Here we go. Okay. Computer. We're so close. Okay, here we go.
It's happening, guys.
Oh, I'll tell you when.
Can you just sing it or?
The best part is like, yeah, you can't hear any of it. Oh,
How's
that
that? Did it go
was
along with the
amazing.
music? I couldn't hear it.
It
So
it did, yeah. I'll figure that out. This is the reason Twitch, we're bringing Twitch down, but this is the reason people come here. I
Oh
love
yeah,
it so
yeah.
much.
We can
I
already see
appreciate
the viewers increase here.
I know. I appreciate that you did it. You did it right before, I think, before you rated with your stream. You walked to the back of the room and did like a little pose. I was
Oh,
like, I friggin'
yeah,
love it. We're gonna do that.
yeah. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about bodybuilding, just to talk about the art of bodybuilding.
Oh yeah.
This stuff is great. Like, this is fun, but at the same time, it's like I'm a huge fan of like the 1980s, like early 1990s, like the guys who are like really into the art of bodybuilding. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with any of these guys, but man, like some of these guys who pose, like if you look up this guy like Bob Paris or like Frank Zane, any of these guys, Lee Labrada, amazing just physiques, but the way they present them, it's just beautiful. And the way they do it to music, it's like, it's just art. It's amazing to me. So it's not just like a bunch of bros going in and just flexing at themselves in the mirror. Like, we have fun with it here, but there is an art to it. That's the thing I appreciate the most about this, I think.
Yeah, well, and I'm assuming that's kind of how it is with everything. At least it's how it's with everything that I've come across. Like, there's a science to it, you know, and the science can work on maybe some of the context of it, but then that extra bit is the art. And that's, I was actually thinking about it today in terms of marketing, where it's like there's a science to it. We know scientifically, you need a hook within a couple seconds, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and you got to do this, right? So we can put those things in the content. We can construct something. You know, you could build your body in a certain way, and then you have to actually create something that matches taste. You know, and I think that's the art side of it. And I was thinking about it today again. Like, I feel like that's for most things where, you know, even weightlifting, there's the art side of it where you might do something in a certain way and somebody might prefer that. A couple judges might prefer that over somebody else. And that's that art that maybe makes this person win over this person, even though, you know, their physiques are pretty damn similar.
Sure. And it's a totally subjective thing, right? And you could be doing it for yourself. You could be doing it for, like, you know, what's considered, you know, by whatever federation or whatever masses, you know, you choose to you know, abide by. You know, you could be pretty in one way or the other, right? So
yeah. and we got some bits from Cristiano Vibes. And they threw $100 bills as well.
Excellent.
I'll forward those bits onto the next stream that I'm on with you. But then you have to flex again, so you have to work for it a second time. I'll forward those on.
Yeah,
it'll be great. People on the stream will be like, "What the hell's happening?"
Like, hold on a second, I got my guy.
It'll be great. Yeah, why is he playing Aerosmith again? Yeah, so like, kind of with the Twitch and everything, like, what's kind of the hope or the plan? Or, you know, I love what you said earlier about it's so simple to do and fulfilling in that regard, because it doesn't take a lot of work and doesn't distract. You can just kind of do it with your workout. But do you have any 2022 goals or any, you know?
Thing is, Ryan, I don't believe in goals. No, I think for me,
thanks, Gary V.
What was that?
I said, thanks, Gary V.
Yeah. Don't believe in goals. Yeah, exactly. Gary V. He's amazing. No, but I think for me with Twitch, it's just about having a schedule. I think that's like my ultimate goal, is getting a better schedule. I think I had a little more, when I had a little more presence, like I was able to be a little bit more, I don't know, attentive to like some of the viewers. Like early on, I shouldn't say early on, I guess maybe when it was like when I had a schedule back a year ago, we had more regulars and I was able to kind of help them a little more. We had more questions. And honestly, when my stream was the lowest quality and with the worst internet, that's when it was popping off the most, because I had a schedule. So, and it has nothing to do with like growing an audience. It has everything to do with like helping the handful of people who want to keep coming back. Because I think what happens is I give people some advice and then I'm off for like 4 or 5 days, and then they forget about me, and then I might come back on, and then they might remember 2 months later. I'll be like, oh, how are you doing? Like, and it would be nice to actually have like a consistent schedule where I can actually talk to the handful of people who are going to be consistently coming back and working on specific things or asking questions and becoming, you know, on top of their fitness goals, whatever it might be, and even mental stuff too. I feel like the mental health aspect of this community, I feel like I want to push that a little more this year. You know, I was doing meditation streams. I was doing a Monday morning meditation for I don't know, about 6 months or so, and I was getting like a handful of people, but of those people, they were like, yeah, I've never really thought about meditation this way, and like I started adding this to my daily routine, and you know, it has nothing to do with like the Buddhism stuff or anything. It's really just about centering yourself in breath. And they were just like, yeah, this has had a profound effect on me. And there's a handful of people, and the thing is, I stopped doing it, and I haven't really seen those people around anymore. So I kind of feel sad about that. But at the same time, I'm like, if I help them a little bit, I'm happy, right? But I think that's a goal. It's just being able to get back into kind of a rhythm again with everything, and that's it. You know, I don't know if this is going to grow to where I become a partner, or if I become like, you know, I can make this a secondary income or something. That stuff, honestly, it doesn't really matter. It's more or less just, you guys are my gym fam. And you know, this community is important to me. It's more than just one person. It's the whole, it's the entirety of us, and that's really what this is about. So I want to continue pushing that.
Yeah, I love that too. That perspective of, it's kind of like that just, you know, I'm going to keep taking that next step. And there's a lot of things in the direction that we could go to, but it's interesting what you're talking about, of like, you know, things that you enjoy, things that you can produce, and things that resonate, and trying to find, okay, what's in the Venn diagram of that? Cause you gotta want to do it. You gotta love it. You know, I have like 3 videos in the can for YouTube that I just haven't finished. And I actually have a whole 8 episode series from Wheel of Time. So we, you know, 6 cameras, 4 people. I split it. I live produced it, switched it. That's what I meant, and recorded it all. And I have all the episodes in the can, but like just editing, like I just don't do that at my job anymore. Like I have people who do that. So like that part is just not fun to me. So I haven't produced those, and I'm trying to think like, what's in that Venn diagram that can keep going? Because I feel like anybody who's successful in anything figures out what works in, you know, whether it's home, business, family, you know, maybe those are 3 really good ones. And if it overlaps in there, then that's something really good that you can be successful at. So I always try to think too, like in these other things that I do for fun, in fitness and internet things, what can you do? And so, you know, I think that's kind of what you're talking about as well. And I would love to see, you know, more of that other content, because that fits right into the fitness community and stuff, the meditation. And it seems like it feeds you a lot, which I think is probably more important. And then, you know, once again, you're kind of going at that again, like you have your fitness numbers, and I think there's an overlap. And then I feel like there's eventually just a snowball effect, and you'll be fed by it, I imagine. And, you know, that's what I hope.
Yeah, I think has to be like a sense of purpose with it, right? You need to, I mean, for anything, you know, if you're just doing things to do it, I mean, you're not going to have the quality, you're not going to be proud of it. So it's like when I was doing the meditation, there was a little bit of a sense of like, what am I doing this for? Am I just trying to be on stream more often? And it's like, I don't know. Like I knew there were people who were getting stuff out of it. And then there were some people who were coming in and just being like, oh, this guy isn't shirtless right now, I don't care. And I was like, well, I'd rather be that way than anything else. Right. So I just need to get back to that sense of purpose and like that reason why. Right. Because I think we get clouded, you know, our judgment kind of gets clouded that way. Because we're like, oh, my stream's growing. Like I need to keep my stream growing. And it's like, honestly, that stuff doesn't matter at the end of the day when you'd be doing this anyway, right? And it's like, if you're able to touch a handful of people, that should be your reason, right? So I think sometimes I struggle with that, and that's the reason why I meditate anyway. So, you know, it all goes hand in hand, right?
Yeah, I was at a digital conference today for a tool called Notion, which is really great. If you guys haven't seen that before, you should check it out. Actually, that's what I shared notes with you in.
Okay.
It's a great tool. But they had some YouTubers on there, and one of them said, she's like, you know, if you want to be successful at YouTube, imagine, and I think she said, imagine if the pandemic hit and you didn't have a job and what you would be doing. I turn it around, and I've heard it the other way of like, imagine you won the lottery and you didn't have to worry about money. What would you be doing? You know, do that thing. Now, if your thing is like living on yachts and traveling around the world on your yacht, probably not going to work. But if it's like, I don't know, I'd probably be doing fitness in my basement and streaming it to people.
You literally just said what I'd be doing. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Then, you know, then I think that fits in kind of that Venn diagram of things that would work really, really well. And Segason, yes, you should try Notion. I'll put the link in chat. Dude, I am like such a software nerd, and this piece of software can be used for note taking, project management, journaling, organization, calendar. Like it's kind of a database based system that you can organize the content in whatever way you want. So I do know, I don't know them, but I know that several content creators use it really, really well and effectively as a content management tool for their content streams. So something to check out.
Hashtag not sponsored. It's hashtag maybe sponsored.
You know what the worst is? I talk about stuff so much and it's like, yep, I get no money. I get no money from any of those groups. I saw this on Rocket. So Rocket Fit the other day was talking about turning off viewers, the viewer count. Do you ever do that, or do you look at the viewer count? Because I feel like for me, since I've turned it off, I don't care. I'm just
so.
Like,
the reason I keep it on, and to be frank, is sometimes I'll forget to reintroduce myself. And when people just join the stream and like I see an influx of people, I usually will stop and I will like say my name is and do that. If I don't know if there's an influx of new people, I probably wouldn't do that. But if I just do that on a timer anyway, probably be the same thing. But that's the only reason I use it. Honestly, like my stream goes like some days it's like I have 15 people for a while. Sometimes it goes up to like 60 some odd people if I get a few raids, but like it's all over the place. And like I'm nowhere close to getting partner, and that's the only reason I would really care. So that's the only reason I use it, is just to be able to, say my name again.
to track, to track that. And well, and it's interesting because like I feel like, so I just hit affiliate a couple weeks ago, and to get 3 was tough, but now it's like 5 to 10 is pretty regular, which is pretty cool. Because like, how often do you hang out with 5 to 10 people? Sure. I don't, nor do I want to, but I will on here, and I love it on here. And then you get a raid, and then it's like 30 or whatnot. But when it's when it is low, and maybe I'll just set a timer. Maybe that's a good idea. I don't like looking at the numbers, and I'm like, oh yeah, now I'm down to 9. Great. How does that make me feel? And it's like the stupidest thing ever, right? Because there are 9 people there, or somewhere around there. So, dude, like
sometimes I
be there for them.
Yeah. Sometimes we're sitting there talking to nobody. Like there's been times where like my viewership will say 25 and there's nobody talking, and I'll just be talking to myself, and I'm fine with it. I'm still explaining what my workout is. Like there are people sitting there just lurking and watching and listening. And I have to realize that. And sometimes it's 3 people, sometimes it's 5 people. Some people are just AFK. Like, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, there's the fact of the matter is there's still a community here. And it's like, people are going to find you over time. Especially when you're new in the community. You've been here for what? How long have you been streaming now?
Oh, I've been streaming for a few months. Yeah.
A few months. Okay. So even in the first few months, like as you get affiliate and start breaking into like having like that little niche community where people come to you, and I'm going to say they're probably going to come to you because you know a lot about tech, you're going to know a lot about production, and they're going to watch you do your workouts and be like, okay, I can start moving into this stuff. Like there's going to be this niche, right? Let's be frank. A lot of people who come to see me, they're just like, I don't want to see a shirtless dude. Right. But the fact that I can do that and I can bring people into this
shirtless
community,
dude who's so nice, who I would never go up and talk to in a gym. Like that was honestly like my perspective.
Yeah. But my whole thing is the gimmick is bringing people in so that way they can join the Discord and see the community as just this warm, welcoming place, and getting them out to see like other people, who, maybe they don't have their shirt off, but it's like, whatever, that's my gimmick right now until I become, infirm and I'm, hairy again, and I have that skullet going on, like no one's gonna like that, but the base is there, so that's cool.
Yeah, no, I love that too, the building up. It's funny too, like looking at it, like the afternoon is so different, and I don't know enough about the afternoon either. Like I feel like I know a lot of the folk in the morning, so I need to just jump on and interact more. But like you said, just building up the community and like with the raids and just everything, because I think there's like 1 or 2 partnered fitness streamers. There's
a handful. We got like and there were more, but there's like Martini Monsters, Tomination Time, Joe Workouts is new, Ben Rice, Bajira, he streams WoW, but he does a lot of fitness too.
Oh yeah.
There's a handful of others who are bigger. I think Nick Merckx a handful of times comes into health and fitness, but yeah, there's not a lot of us. And like Tomination time, like I met Tom in Vegas when my wife was streaming. Like,
Oh, nice.
she and Tom became friends, and like I'm friends with Tom and stuff. But like that was cool because she was a small streamer and I was a small streamer, and I was like, this guy's really nice. And that kind of, honestly, Tom is like what set in stone. I was like, man, the community here is pretty awesome. And I think like it has its lulls and it comes back up. And I think the community right now, just so you know, since you're kind of new, is the strongest it's been I've ever seen it. It's the strongest I've ever seen it. And it kind of started with the people like Tom and Ben Rice, you know, like good credit to them. They're the ones who showed that like we can do this stuff on Twitch, and now it's just growing, you know, going crazy.
Yeah. Well, and I love too that it can be different too. Like Tomination time, is his name Tom?
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah. Like Tom's stuff is so produced and so fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's so goofy, and I see that stuff and I'm like, ooh, I want to do that, but not that. You know, you don't want to copy. You want to do something different, but you know, see that and do something like that. And then who's the other guy? The guy who trains fits in the title, and he does a lot of cycling, and he's
Fit for Purpose. Yeah.
Fit for Purpose. Yes,
Fit for Purpose. Yeah.
So he does classes or something, I believe. And
he's partnered with Gymshark, and he's another one. Yep. And
yeah,
I don't actually get to hang out. His name's Jeff. Awesome guy. Awesome dude. Knows a lot of stuff. Actually a personal trainer. And yeah, he's great. And he works out with, I don't know if it's girlfriend or something. I don't want to say something wrong, but Fall from Grace. And I think that's kind of like how he kind of built a following too, which is awesome because it's getting into like a whole new, you know, audience that like we would have never had here. So these bigger streamers who, you know, recognize health and fitness, and they kind of bring people over. It's awesome. You know, we got to love that and got to appreciate it. So
yeah. Well, and that thing too, like, you know, again, I'd love to grill them. I jumped in with like Bajira too, and he's kind of another one of those friendly giants as well. I'm like, oh, dude, so swole and lifting so heavy. Yeah. And then I asked a question, and he's like, oh, that's a great question. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, another just nice dude.
Bajira's awesome. Yeah, he's super nice.
And I feel like that. What is that? The high tide raises all ships or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there's some rising tide. Yeah. I feel like there's some of that energy here. And, you know, you always promote the Discord and the community. And, you know, I know Celsi was, when I jumped into Discord and I was like, hey, this is not working. Celsi's like, oh, let me help you out. And I'm like, thanks, random dude on the internet who's not getting paid for any of this. Thanks for helping me out.
I think that's like the biggest piece is like, we all want to see it grow. And I think honestly, there are people who want this to turn into like a full-time venture. Sure. That'd be amazing. And I know like that's definitely people's goals, but I think for the most part, most people who are streaming, who are part of this community, they just want to see the community grow as a whole. Like that we see the power in numbers, and we see like how much good we're doing. Right. And it's just like that trumps everything else. Right. I'd like to believe that's why we're all here. Right.
Yeah. If I were to like stay here and just be able to hang out and talk and stream in the same way that I am now, like, I feel like I could be pretty fulfilled with that.
Sure.
You know, like just the interaction and I don't know, kind of intentionality of these remote relationships. I don't know. I think it's something special. And there's a shout out to, who's that? Vince and B Wolf. I don't know who Vince is.
So Vince actually, so I'll give you a little rundown. So Vince streamed in the morning. Well, he was streaming in the morning, and he is a natural pro bodybuilder from Canada. And his name is Vince Taper Fitness, Vince _ Taper _ fitness. Anyway, he's a natural bodybuilder, pro natural bodybuilder. And he's a huge guy and a super knowledgeable, awesome dude. And he actually just started going to the gym again. So he's not streaming as frequently, which is great because he's a personal trainer and he's able to like get more clients and stuff, which is awesome. But Vince is awesome. Like he's great. And then B Wolf, another natural pro bodybuilder from Canada. I don't know why they're producing so many natural pros, but Canada's
the French Canadian.
And they're awesome. You know, both awesome. They know about posing. Like there's a pretty decent amount of like knowledgeable bodybuilder style, you know, fitness enthusiasts here. I'd like to say I'm one of them, but I'm not really like on their level as far as like competition and being a pro, but I still love the sport. So the sport, I don't call it a sport. It's actually muscle pageants. That's what I call them.
Muscle pageants. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did your mom come and scream at you and like,
no, you know,
ice cream?
No, my mom never came to a show. I actually only had my aunt come to one show. I think my dad might have come, but they were in Vegas and my mom lived in Rhode Island, so she wasn't able to come out. But I wasn't really being vocal about the show because I was a little embarrassed. It's
Sure,
like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like my family, they don't really understand it, but they're supportive anyway. I love them. So
Yeah. We got a couple comments here. Our just chatting fitness streams. That was another thing I was thinking about, like with fitness, like this thing being such a fitness related thing. I kept it in the fitness channel. But Holder says nothing to do but eat and lift in Canada. I think that's true. Just mostly all those carbs, like you can get 400 grams of carbs, just with a little cup of maple syrup, I think.
Pretty sure one of Beowulf's redemptions is literally a shot of maple syrup. So that's how we know.
Oh my gosh. I hadn't seen that, but I'm totally there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2-day leftover says, who's a Croce? Are you asking the real hard questions like what's your cell phone wallpaper or OnlyFans or Twitter? Let's see. Held message. Fucking sport. I don't know. Well, I don't know what you're saying, Joneses. It keeps snowing. You hate it.
Oh yeah, Jones. That's Kevin. He's I think he's Canadian too. Poor guy.
Art. Oh yeah. I have been on your stream. I guess I never paid attention to your name.
He's subbed to you. You better pay attention to your subs.
Do you know your subs' first names?
I don't know any of them.
That's right. You can tell by the image right there. Just chatting fitness streams are epic. It's not okay. So let's hit that wheel. I want to talk about tattoos too. I don't think you have any that I've seen.
You want to see my tattoo? I don't have a tattoo.
You're super natural, but Beowulf has got some mega tattoos that I was talking to him about.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, let's hit that button. Let's see what happens.
Let's see.
The frequency of these are going to increase as we wind down. Okay. So we're going to do, this is air squat recommendations.
Okay.
We're going to see how this goes. Again, you're the guinea pig on all this.
Great.
We're going to do air squats while I ask you for recommendations for things for like a minute or two.
Okay. So are we actually doing air squats or are we holding an air squat? Like, I guess we're doing air squats.
What do you think? You could help decide what we do.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I guess
what do you think in chat?
Let's just go. How many questions do we go? I don't know.
Okay. Here, let me set a timer for a minute and we'll see how a minute feels and then we'll go after that, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, favorite meal?
Oh, I like the Capriati's Bobby. It's a sandwich. Yeah.
All right, the sandwich. What's your favorite dessert?
I'm a huge fan of chocolate, even though it messes up my mouth. I like this chocolate cake from Greg's, which is a local place, and it's Death by Chocolate. It's delicious. I love it.
Dude, chocolate, nice. I should have written all these down. What are you watching these days? What's your favorite?
We've been
TV
watching.
show?
We watch Naked and Afraid. We've been rewatching them. Hilarious. It's a good show. It's kind of ridiculous, but we like it. Ozark and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Huge fan.
Yeah, +1 for Naked and Afraid. I love to watch that when I travel. It's so silly to see, what people do. There's that one where the one lady's like, "Cuddle me," and he's like, "No, I'm naked and I'm married. I'm married."
It's like, bro. What?
Yeah. All right. Favorite exercise?
I really like. Oh man, that's a hard one. I hate bench press, but I really love probably rows, single arm rows.
Single arm rows.
Or single arm pull down, something like that.
Nice. Favorite streamer?
Right now, probably Jason Diamondo or Terrible Hime. One of those two. I like those two. Or BitLife. I don't know. BitLife is good too.
Hey, that's what I was fishing for. All right. Like he's all right. Let's see. Chat. Give me something, chat. We got 30 seconds left. We can do this. Air squat recommendations. Here we go. What do you want to know about Acro? You're doing great.
This hurts.
It's like you had shoulder day today.
Oh my God, but my legs. Let me ask you a question. What's your favorite
go
meal?
for it. My favorite meal is
Yeah.
maybe my my evening frosty.
Evening frosty. Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. That's 2 minutes right there. Tab says you literally said today I hate it here in Dia stream.
Well, that's just how I roll. That's just how I roll. You never know with me.
It's a love-hate
you know?
relationship.
Yeah. No, I love everyone here. You will see me like early morning. I usually wake up. I typically should be meditating, but for whatever reason, I find myself going on my phone, going into Jason's stream, and just being like sucked into the degeneracy. I don't know why, but I love that guy.
It's so great. Tabs did ask favorite place in the world. That's a good one. We'll allow it.
I think home. Wherever home is. I just love being home, you know.
Wherever Nancy is.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Home is where the heart is, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, well, I'll keep going with questions. That's cool. Does Acro see yourself streaming in 5 years from now?
I don't know. You know, I don't plan that far ahead. It'll be cool, but I have no idea.
Yeah. Also, Tabs is throwing up Dia's butt.
Oh, yeah.
You see that? There you go.
Yeah. Just make sure everyone knows hopefully these won't get banned anytime soon, but we got a lot of these.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's yours. Yeah. The best part is like, I hope, you know, I would love for these to go all over Twitch and for people to have no idea where they come from. And like, ooh, look at these juicy lady butts.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you know who this belongs to? This guy over here.
Dude, yeah. Mine, have you seen mine before I changed it? It was me and then my face that pops up at the end.
I did not see that.
Yeah, so that was the initial idea. It was just my butt and then my face would pop up. But the other guys just did like the butt and we're like, all right, we'll just be like the Cake Rangers, you know, something like that.
You're the butt bros.
Yeah. So another one of my inventions, I guess.
Cristiano Vibe says 2027 Twitch partner. How about 2022?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Are you doing are you gonna try to go to TwitchCon? What do you think?
That's in October. Where's that at?
Yeah, I think it's in San Diego.
Maybe. I don't know. It seems are you going?
I don't know. It's a good question. I
guess
I would like to.
I don't know how it might be like overwhelming. Like if everyone streams and then everyone's streaming while they're there, like it'd be really cool to meet the fam, you know, the fitness
I think
fam.
that's the only reason I'd want to go. If we're not doing a meetup anytime soon and we were going to go to TwitchCon, I would love to just be able to meet everyone. I know it's like it's a cluster, but I think just to get the crew together, just for the sake of getting the crew together, and not even having a gym sesh, just being able to meet everyone and just hanging out and eating and doing whatever, that'd be cool.
Yeah. No, I think that would be a blast. So I'd be up for that. Who was it? Eddie was talking about it. Plus Ultra Eddie. He'll be. I think he's planning on going and trying to figure out how to stream from his phone. And he was talking about streaming from the 5G because it'll be less congested. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder if everyone's going to try to stream from their 5G.
Yeah.
And if anyone's going to be able to stream.
I don't know. I wasn't planning. If I went, I wasn't planning on streaming anything. I was just going to go. I'd be like a co-host for 90% of the streams that were there. I'd try to just jump in and interrupt them all, you know?
That would be amazing. And Holder Hack, if you're not streaming at TwitchCon, are you really at TwitchCon?
Yep. We got the Spochi emotes, and then we got, here you go. Oh, wait, I don't want my hype emote. There you go. I stole that from Spochi.
Nice. Put your own hype up there. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna hit the wheel again because we got a few more. I think we've almost exhausted the fitness ones. There's one more fitness one.
Oh, great! It's gonna be this one.
This is good. Yeah,
can't wait to eat hot sauce.
The wheel's going so much slower now. Oh, so close. Oh, this is a good. This is a good one.
This is
revealing photos. Okay,
great.
So you haven't seen these, however.
I've seen them.
You posted these. Yeah. You posted these in a video, and I was creeping on you today. Okay. So I hope that means I can share these since we put them out on the internet.
No, everything's good. You can use whatever.
But I like it because I want people to think they're gonna see something else. Yeah, like Tabs. Are you ready for this, Tabs? All right. This is how I play this game. Let's see. Chrome screenshot. All right. Get this going. There we
Oh
go.
yeah.
This is an oldie but a goodie. Can you
Yep.
talk me through this one?
So this is when I actually started to see abs like in daylight. I was working out with my buddy Ed in the basement and stuff, and we were
You just happen to
taking
be digging
no,
with a shovel.
in fact, I don't think I've ever used that shovel in my life. I used it for a photo op. I saw it. It was like sitting next to the I don't know, the patio, and I just picked it up. I was like, hey, I told my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend at the time, I was like, take a photo of me with this, and this is going to be my like profile picture. It's just going to be funny because people hadn't seen what I looked like in a long time, and this is like the first time this is the first time I passed like 185 pounds or got around 185 pounds. And I was like, yeah, like this is what you're dealing with. Like I started lifting everyone, but yeah, I'm just look at all that hair. That's the impressive part right there. It's all the
well, and Holder says it looks like your face is photoshopped on there. Like that's not your body.
That's definitely my body.
Yeah. It gets better. Let's see. This was just a classic. It feels like the 90s. I don't know if it was that. You got kind of like some David Schwimmer things happening to your face. It's
definitely
really
Friends stuff going on. Yep. So this was when I first, I think, I could bench press 185 pounds, but they were really terrible reps. They weren't all the way down. I couldn't go all the way down to my chest. But it was the first time I think I did 185 pounds for like 5 or 6 reps, and I was really stoked, as you could tell from my face. Yeah, this is
like 90s MTV stoked.
Yeah, I was so stoked. Yeah,
nice. All right, now these I loved. Now that we're talking about the art of posing, this was maybe one of the first poses, and I don't know posing very much, but your serious face.
Clearly, I didn't know posing either.
Really sold it for me.
Yeah, that's not how you do a side tricep, but
just that shoulder move.
Yeah. So
it was so much fun.
When I was doing that bodybuilding.com program that I didn't think really worked very well. It was the first time I actually saw like a 6-pack. So this was my like 9-week transformation. So this is probably like the first few weeks of do that 9-week transformation. And I was like, I'm gonna do a side tricep, I'm gonna do a front double bicep, I'm gonna do a back double bicep. And those were gonna be my shots for the entire transformation. So this is one of them. And yeah, I think I was up to like 190 pounds and I was trying to get down to 175 pounds, which I actually did in 9 weeks. So yeah, this is me. Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's what I got for your revealing photos. I cribbed that from one of your transformation videos on YouTube. So you want to see more of those from Acro, check that out. What's your channel?
My YouTube channel? Ooh,
yeah.
I think it's Project Acro.
Project Acro, that's right.
Yeah.
The website does not work.
What website doesn't work?
ProjectAcro.com. At the end of one of the videos, it's like Project Acro.
Oh yeah. We're not going to worry about that too much. Those are my my learning experience endeavors. Where I'm like, no, I'm going to keep this up because I don't know. We all go through our phases.
Well, it's hard to keep that up, I think. But if you can figure it out, like one of your videos, I think had like 120,000 views, and then the next had, I don't know, 80 or 60.
I struck gold on
there was a bunch of
videos. Yeah. They weren't very high quality or anything, but it's not really, that doesn't really matter. It's about, capturing the heart of the audience. But what I did was initially when I started doing YouTube is I was trying to be real trendy. So my first big video, just so you know, was a video called World of Warcraft Night Elf Pimp. And it actually got bought by a company called Machinima. And it had it had a million views at one point. So I was pretty famous for about 3 weeks or something. It was cool.
Wow. What, the video got bought by Machinima?
Yeah, so they contacted me, and I think they paid me like $300 to put it on their website. And I was like, yeah, do it. And they did it, and they actually took it down because it was like too vulgar for them. But I was like, whatever, you paid me, whatever got paid. So yeah, dude. I didn't know comedy back in the day. Still don't.
That's fun. But magic.
Yes.
Do you have a magic trick you could show us?
I do. I could show you something. So very simple.
Or several.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've been studying magic since I was like 5. And the story goes, I was a little kid, and my grandfather on my dad's side, who passed away when I was 13, sad story, but he showed me like magic tricks when I was little, and I was just
Hmm.
fascinated, like so fascinated that every time I went back to his house, I wanted to show him a new trick. And I got like a magic kit, and like I started learning, and that's kind of where it all started. It was funny because I always wanted to do card tricks, but when I was a little kid, I couldn't palm a card because my hands are too small. So they would get me these little like bridge decks. So I got pretty good with
Oh.
cards using the smaller decks. And yeah, the card tricks kind of stuck with me. I did a bunch of other stuff. I did magic shows when I was a kid. I actually grew up not far from one of the guys who won America's Got Talent. His name's Matt Franco. He has a show in Vegas right now. And
Hmm.
we went to like conventions and stuff when I was a little kid. But like, it just goes to show you, don't give up on your dreams,
Stick
like
with it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was amazing, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah, so I usually only do magic when I'm drunk or when I'm doing silly stuff on Twitch. So I can show you guys just a couple quick tricks. So here's an easy one.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and then I can
Nice,
do
nice.
a crowd favorite. This is like one that David Blaine does. I'm gonna stand up, so a little bit of a crotch shot, but that's not what this is about. So here we go. Okay, so can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna find a random card. Right. It doesn't really matter what it is. It could be this card here. So this card is ace. That's perfect. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of fold it in half a little. Okay, and we're gonna take it. We're gonna put it in the middle of the deck. It's gonna kind of pop out a little. And you can see it right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like obstruct your vision, but you can kind of see it where it's slightly bent right there. Watch, let me square it up. You'll see it kind of dissipates. Now you can't really tell where it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But watch closely. Watch. See that? Look. It's not the card. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. It's a different card. But wait a second. It's weird because you guys thought that I was going to show you like a specific card.
What? I am so confused, and I love it.
People have seen that trick so many times. I had to like make it
add
a little different.
flair.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
that's amazing.
The way the trick is supposed to work is
Demon David Blaine.
You fold it, you put it in the middle,
yeah.
you cover it, and then you watch, and it pops up to the top, right? But the coolest part is the trick like works better when you use a different card,
What? Oh my gosh, you gotta do bar or bet, bar tricks. I guess people do it with dice and other things, but I would bet so much money because I feel like I know some magic, but like I have no idea what that was.
What this
some
one
kind
was.
of demon shit. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's that's my favorite thing about doing magic is like people are like, what, like I've been doing it for so long, and the tricks are usually like the same or similar, and I haven't I've been on a kick lately of watching magic, and like one of my favorite magicians, I call him a magician, but he's really just an entertainer. He did magic, but funny guy. His name's The Amazing Jonathan. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's the documentary about him.
Yes, he had 2 documentaries. That whole thing going on, that was hilarious. Anyway, he one of my favorites of all time. Just silly. I thought it was just like he wasn't taking himself seriously. It was just a lot of fun, and I think that's kind of what drew me to magic more. And now that he's passed away, I'm like, man, I need to get back to that. And I was like, I just need to like figure out new tricks and like kind of have fun with it again. And I've been doing it a little bit more. I've been watching a lot of videos, watching some old magic like videos and stuff. They're amazing. Like, just, I don't know if you ever get a chance to go down like a wormhole, rabbit hole on YouTube, just magicians are fantastic, man.
Well, and just over the last 20 years, because I was into it as a kid and I did a lot of stuff even through college, and I cribbed, like we had to buy DVDs. You buy a DVD set and you do the tricks from the DVD set. And so like,
you got to tell me what DVDs you use. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I probably still have them. But it's the one that had, I don't remember if it was David Blaine's Levitation. or basically the simple levitation trick.
Okay.
Would do that at parties along with a few card tricks, and the performance of it, again, it's probably why I'm on Twitch as well, but the performance of it is so much fun, especially when you can screw with people like you just did.
Right.
Like
Right.
that was a blast when I was like, oh, I know it's coming. And then it's like, nope.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
It's funny. We were talking about just the reason why we're on Twitch and stuff. And I think a lot of us here, we all kind of want to be an entertainer in some way. I feel like a lot of us do. We kind of crave the attention or whatever it is, And for me, definitely, because I was trying to be a magician. I tried to have like the YouTube stuff going on, one thing after another. Like I wanted to be an actor, and this is just like an outlet for that. And even though it's not like as serious as I was trying to make it out to be earlier on in my career, now it just feels like second nature,
Yeah. Well, and now it's right. But I wonder too, somebody said magic trick without the 20K redeem, iconic. Do you do it on your stream? Do you let people redeem for tricks?
It's like the most expensive redemption. I'll tell you why. It's because like I don't have enough tricks to do. So like if people take a long time to save up, I could be like, I could do a new trick now.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's a reason to get more tricks.
Yeah. Well, I also do
Right?
things like I beatbox and juggle too. Right. So that's another thing I do.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you follow Tom Thumb?
I don't know who Tom Thumb is. No.
He's on the TikToks.
I'm not on TikTok. I'm such a boomer, dude.
I'll send you something. That dude is nuts. Like he'll do loops, and he'll just create this whole soundscape, and you're like, how the fuck did that come out of your mouth?
These guys, and seriously, I tell people it's the same thing. It's the same beat every time for me. Like it's the same thing every time, but I just have fun with it,
Yeah, nice. Let's see. Cadenzi, what's up? Thanks for jumping in. I think Tabs left already.
Bye, Tabs.
We said thanks. Thanks, Tabs. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, you could probably do the magic levitating one, right?
Yeah, that one. I don't know if you've heard of King's Rising. Have you ever heard of that trick? It's a card
trick.
It's a sideways levitation where you can see both feet side to side, not from the back. If you look up King's Rising, I don't want to spoil it, but King's Rising is one. And I actually know the inventor of that trick, and he was a friend of Matt Franco's too. So I don't know if you remember the website illusionist.com. Okay. So that was a big website for like, DVDs and stuff. That's why I was curious if you bought one from them. But
yeah.
We used to go to things like they're called Hank Lee conventions. Hank Lee actually went to jail for tax evasion or something, but Hank Lee was like the biggest thing. Yeah, as one does, it's...
Yeah. No, I'll see if I can find it next time. It was like Secrets of Magic or something. It was so good. And yeah, me and my dorm mate went through all the tricks, and then you could tell how cool I was in college doing magic tricks at parties.
Same. I was in high school though. People had the nickname for me. I was Ari the Magical Jew throughout high school. So I had that going for me. That should be my new Twitch name.
That's amazing. Yeah. This will be the second new name that you got from this stream. Yeah. That's funny. I'm not Jewish, but I do have a big schnoz, and I have curly hair when it's long. And so in college all the time, like one time, somebody from like the Hillel or whatever was like, hey, do you go to temple? And I was like, oh, no, I'm not Jewish. And they're like, oh, sorry. And I was like, it's okay. I get that a lot.
And you work in production, so that's kind of...
There you go. Yeah. I do know a lot. I work with a lot in New York. Another one was like a friend's mom, and she's like, oh, that Jewish boy, he's so lovely. and my friend's like, what Jewish boy? Ryan? And she's like, he's not Jewish. She's like, what? With the schnoz and the hair? And I was like, oh, that's so endearing.
He speaks Hebrew. It's weird.
Yeah, so much Hebrew and a little bit of Yiddish. Magic Acro Drew. Magic.
Yes, I go. Maybe we'll see.
We'll see. All right, here we go. We're getting close to some good ones on here.
Okay.
Here, let's spin some more. I feel like I can still feel my pecs, so we gotta get something else in here.
Oh no.
Okay. So this is the Destroyer. Oh.
So I usually do this with my stomach against the wall. I can't do it. I don't know why I can't do it with my back against the wall. All right. My face is gonna turn so red.
You could, yeah. This will be great. When you said like you put your stomach to the wall, I'm just thinking like spooning, like butt to butt. Like
Kinda.
it just in my mind, I'm like,
Yeah.
It's weird, but you do you. We'll get it.
Yeah. I'll show you. Well, let me change my camera and then so is it a 30-second thing?
Yeah. And I'll hit the timer.
All right.
again.
I'm not gonna be able to hear you, but I'm just gonna go for as many as I can do. All right.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay.
You got 10 out of me. That's it, man. Oh.
I only got 8.5. So you destroyed me.
Oh, my face. It's looking pretty.
I know, right?
It's good. Whew, that's hard.
You know, some people take creatine for blood flow. We just do push-ups on our head.
Yeah. So I'll tell you the reason I do them that way is because I'm a little nervous about falling the other, because I don't think I'm going to fall backwards. They have a better way of like pushing myself out. But if I do it the opposite way, I feel like I'm going to land on my power blocks and that might not be cool. So.
Yeah.
Is it just me now? It's just me now. Hello, everybody. Well, this was fun. It's my show now. Welcome to Acro podcast. We're just out here doing what we got to do, you know? Oh, hey. I was just stealing the show for a second for you, you know?
Love it. All of a sudden, like 3 of my browsers like went bling, bling, bling. And then all I see is you. You're just giant on my screen.
Perfect.
It was so great. So you totally beat me on that, but don't worry. We have more competitions here. You beat me by a whole 1.5.
Excellent.
Ooh. I'll come up with a new name for this. It burns.
Okay, so I can't do the hot stuff.
Yeah,
but he will.
So I'm gonna do the hot stuff. So this is a shot of what kind is this? It's a wings. It's a wings hot sauce, but like a buffalo wing hot sauce. That's what it is. So I love this. Is like one of my tricks when I'm cutting. Just put some hot sauce on stuff.
Oh, I thought you were taking shots during the cut. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Thermogenesis.
And it's reconnecting.
Okay. I just saw it, so.
There we go. I think we reconnected.
All right, there you are. All right.
OBS.
We haven't done anything yet. Yes.
That's okay. Thanks for hanging in there, team. I don't know what you missed. I'm going to take a shot of this hot sauce.
I'm really an open book, so I don't know.
Yeah, Acro's Ari's digging real deep to find a truth that he can tell us. I
mean, maybe a lot of this
his
stuff
next name.
Truth.
Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna shoot this as pressure for you to tell us something.
Okay.
Ready?
All right, so I don't really
tastes
like
good, but quantity.
I don't really like mashed potatoes. I think mashed potatoes are disgusting.
Oh, come on, kid. Gotta give me something. The flavor is great. The quantity is not. Oh,
since I put it on the spot, I actually didn't think of a deep dark truth. Give me some fire. Give me some fire. Give me some kindling.
Something from your childhood.
Childhood. Okay, here's a good one. Okay, so not a lot of people know about this. So I used to brutalize my little brother, not the one who's disabled, but my little brother Jake. And there was a time where he we tied him up using me and my buddy Matt tied him up using bathrobe belts and hung him off a banister.
Oh
and we basically swung him back and forth. He wasn't that high off the ground. We actually got him at the ground level, but we got him up like 2 or 3 feet. We heard our babysitter come in. We were like, I don't know, 10 or something. And he was like 6 or 5. And no, he's 4.
Let go?
And we just let go because we were so scared.
Oh, no.
And he would tell the babysitter what happened. And we were just like, they were like, what happened? What happened? We're like, yeah, I don't know. He's trying to be an octopus or something. We just like went off on our way, and they believed us. We're like, we don't know why he has stuff. Why would we tie stuff to his legs? Like he's just a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Anyway,
no siblings would ever do anything like that. Come on.
No. But the babysitter didn't believe didn't believe my little brother, so that was nice. And that is what spiraled all the trust issues we have together. So that's even deeper, darker secrets.
There we go. We got to it. Yeah, and it just took a little bit of hot sauce.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Man, that's something. Like you put a little hot sauce on and it's fine, but like
yeah, just so you guys know, I can't do hot sauce. I get blisters on my mouth, some sort of herpes. I don't know, but it's rough. I hate it, so I'm just trying to avoid hot sauce.
Yeah, I just get blisters on the inside.
Yes,
you can't see it.
Yes,
actually one of my boys loves the hot sauce, which is really awesome. He's 7, so he'll have a little hot sauce with me. Let's see. Oh. Do you want to buy followers?
Yes.
Sign me up. Want to become famous? Dude, I report so many bots. That's what you were mentioning, the numbers. Mm-hmm. There are a bunch of bots too. And if you look it up, you can search and find the bots and just ban them from your channel.
I'm pretty sure
accurate numbers.
Yeah, half of my stream is probably bots. Let's be real. most of the community is bots. Let's be frank about that.
Yeah. So. There's not this many people interested in fitness. So
lifting with the Joneses, Cristiano, they're not real.
Yeah.
Bots.
Abs or Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody should just be named Abs.
Well, we're trying to get Tab's voice to change her name to Tab's Abs. So yeah.
That'd be amazing. Oh, I got to check Instagram. I think she sent me some stuff because she does VO, and I was like, send me your crap.
Yeah.
I will get you into something.
I actually told her to talk to you. I don't know if she mentioned that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the best. Thanks for that follow, Grim Reaper 1818 with all those numbers. Let's spin that wheel. I think we got like 2 left.
Okay.
We did the spicy one.
Okay. So I think we're getting down. We're getting down to it.
Ooh. So this may or may not work.
Okay.
Actually, these last 2 are very, very similar.
Okay.
So this one's story time. We've been telling stories all night.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a story that you haven't told or that you love to tell, but the community might not know about? Something to get to know the real Acro, the real Ari.
So I usually, I have a pretty good one, and I think I might have told this one, but I love telling it, so I'll tell it again because it's like the highlight of my life.
Nice.
So I my buddy Joey, he's actually the guy who started the Joey Avino Male Models thing. Full circle. He was the captain of the Counter-Strike team. He lived in Vegas, and so did I. At some point, we figured that out, and we started hanging out with each other. And he told me he had a job opening for like a not a secretary, but like an assistant or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he was gonna offer me the job, but he also wanted to play Counter-Strike again. So like we were starting this Counter-Strike team in Las Vegas and stuff. Anyway, this isn't really part of the story, but I got my buddy Nikki to come out, and he played Counter-Strike, and he actually started working for Joey, and we had a Counter-Strike team. That was the whole reason he got a job, was because we were going to do a Counter-Strike team.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so he worked for Patron Spirits, and Patron Spirits puts on like this big Christmas party like every 2 years, or they used to do it. Now they're bought by someone else. But initially, Paul Mitchell and Patron, owned by the same guy, John Paul DeJorio, the billionaire, has this big party at his mansion in Santa Monica, right? And they invited Nikki and Joey and the Patron people, and Nikki didn't have a date or anything. He's like, Ari, do you want to go? And I was like, sure, that sounds awesome. I'll go to a billionaire's house. Great. I get there, right? We're riding with Lou Ferrigno because he's friends with Joey for some reason. We're riding with Lou Ferrigno.
Are you really?
Yes, yeah. And we met
Oh my gosh.
Louis a few times.
Oh my
Lou
gosh.
Ferrigno, his kids. We meet John Paul DeJorio, and then we get there and we're hanging out with like Dick Van Dyke and like
What?
what's his name? Rob White, the comedian, and Billy what's his name? Yeah, Billy Hagar, right? There's so many famous people. And it was like the highlight of my experience. And yes, and I'm like, we're walking around, we're like talking to people, mingling, and it's great, and the food's amazing, and just like we're seeing Clint Eastwood, and like, it was mind-boggling, right? And we go down to like this little area where the kids are, just to kind of like see the whole landscape, because there's a big area where they're doing all these events. And I see Matthew McConaughey alone, just hanging out in this field. And I'm just like, no one's talking to him because half these people are just normies. And then you got a bunch of celebrities who are there to hang out. I walk up to Matthew McConaughey and I go, hey, I'm Ari. How do you know John Paul DeJorio? And he's like, McConaughey. He's the coolest dude ever. And I was just like, I wanted to be like, yeah, I know. But I was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I know nothing of your work. Please tell me more. Like, he tells me like he met John Paul like in Texas, and like gives me like this little thing, and we talked for a few minutes, and I walked away and I was like, I don't think anything's gonna beat this. Like, it's like what else is gonna happen anyway? So like we had this amazing time in Malibu and Santa Monica, and we come home, and me and my buddy Nikki were sitting on the plane like in coach, just sitting there looking at each other like, what just happened? Like, was that the highlight of like, do we just die now? Like, what was going on? Like, it was surreal. It was crazy. And here's the thing, I don't usually get starstruck or anything, but that was a surreal experience. Like, we literally sang Chitty Chitty Bang Bang with Dick Van Dyke.
Oh my gosh.
In this Christmas. It was a wild time.
I can't even imagine. And just, okay. Maybe not being starstruck if you just pass by somebody, but you're like at a party with several dozens of amazingly famous people that at least some of them you admire, or I imagine you admire and grew up watching and whatnot. Like, oh my gosh. Like, were you actually that cool? Were you, when he's like, I don't drive it because it's cool, or were you like
no, I was
girling out like
no. I I don't usually get that way, so it was like very easy for me to approach him and like talk to him. I don't know why I'm that way. I don't really, but it was in the moment I was like, I'm gonna go talk to him. Like I psyched myself up to go talk to him. But when I talked to him, it was fine. It was just normal conversation. But just the fact that like he was probably the top A-list celebrity. He like just finished filming like, I don't know, Interstellar or something, or like it was like in post, and I was just like. I love that movie, but man, I was like, this is crazy, like,
and he's just McConaughey, so he's cool. He's like at a party with all these celebrities, and he's like just staring at the darkness.
He's literally just sitting there, like he has his like stinky, like plaid like jacket, and he's just sitting there with like a little soda, and he's just like, McConaughey, like I'm like, all right, dude, you're the coolest dude here. All right, obviously. Like, can you sign my butt cheek or something? Come on. No, I think here's the thing. I wasn't gonna ask for photos. I wasn't gonna ask anyone to sign anything. I was literally just mingling. It was cool.
That's the tattoo, right? McConaughey on the butt.
Yeah.
Tattoo this for me.
I'll show you.
Dude, that's awesome. I love that.
No tattoos though. Back to that. No tattoos. So
no tattoos. I was on Beowulf stream and I was like, dude, I really want some tattoos.
Do you though?
I like it. I think I do. So as like a natural guy, I feel like you'd have a good counter argument. So give me like, or are you for or against tattoos on your?
So I just feel like a tattoo is something that your brain in the moment is saying like, oh yeah, you need to do this thing and have this piece on you or whatever. And it's like, it's the one thing that's probably going to last a long time. I mean, it's not forever. You can get it removed, but it's going to last forever. It's like, oh, you're going to feel the same way in 10 years, are you? And it's like, are you going to look back on it with regret? Or you're just gonna be like, yeah, YOLO, it's cool. I don't know. I think a lot of people get tattoos and then they just end up regretting it. I mean, I think if I was to get a tattoo, it'd be something really meaningful, like maybe for my brother or something. That's why Beowulf's tattoo is actually kind of cool, because it's very meaningful. It's like I get the meaning, and that's awesome. But I don't know. My physique is just too good, man. I can't.
still going? Yeah, stream's still going, but now it's black.
I wonder if they can still hear us. Anyway.
There we go. It's back. Yeah. So we've got like Restream, and then Restream is streaming to OBS, and
Gotcha.
OBS is coming back. So, okay, we're back. The meaningful stuff, and people are like, well, what is it going to be like when you're like 60 or 70? I'm like, dude, this will be okay when I'm 60 or 70, but it's all going to be, it's all going to be old. It's not like part of it's just going to be old.
It's gonna be a wrinkly canvas. Yes,
it's gonna be a wrinkly canvas. Yeah, and then I can be like, dude, check out what this wrinkly canvas used to.
You have to like, you're gonna have to like stretch it out. You know,
that'd be great. We'll just need Botox the shit out of it. Yeah, yeah. But no, I want. So I'll share this. I kind of like the gospel writers, the symbols of their martyrdom, not the martyrdom, the symbols of them. There's a lion. There's an ox, there's an eagle, and then there's a man. I don't know how I do the man, but get kind of like some of those animals. I want to go back to kind of the Norwegian route and get some Norwegian kind of style art on there as well. Because I'm Norwegian. I really kind of resonate with that side of my family and that story, which is really, really fun. And then something to do with the family. I've got 6 kids and I'm married.
You have 6 kids? I didn't know you had 6.
I do. Yeah. I've mentioned that a few times, but yeah, that's why I work out so early.
Yeah. Okay. 6. Yeah. I could see like, kind of stern with the kids. You got to get out of my space. No.
Yeah. Or like late in the stream when they're trying to lift with me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be very patient.
Well, I mean, you have to be careful with kids around the weights and stuff too. I mean, that's really important. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And it's pretty safe back there. I don't strap down like the barbell or anything, but they're all pretty good around it. But yeah. Something with the family. I don't know. And be like anytime. Cause like, there's an aesthetic, there's a pleasing aesthetic to the body. And like Jason was saying, like, it's great to, throw off the shirt and feel great. So there's something that feels great to myself or, to those of us who are doing it. But also I want there to be additional meaning. Like, yeah, okay. So there's this, you're staring at my body, but hey, here's a story of my life and family. So that's my reasoning right now. I don't have any tattoos, so maybe I'll chicken out and not do it. But
yeah, I think for me, like just talking about that, like, I mean, not to pick out faith for any reason, right? Except I think for some reason, like, I think like your ideas change over time. It depends on like how deep you are. But, I went to like Hebrew school as a kid and like I was brought up Jewish, and then like my ideas changed. It didn't make me less spiritual or anything, but I don't know, like if you were to do something very specific to like a religion and then like for whatever reason like you had your doubts and like you found like a new way, new thought process or whatever, you'd probably be like, well, maybe I wouldn't have put that on my body. I'm not saying you would do that, but
yeah. Afterwards, I'm like, no, it's just a lion and an eagle, and no, it's cool.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. You want something again when you're wrinkly and old, and you're like still happy about it. That will happen. Yeah.
Or not, and maybe that'll just be a cool story. Whatever.
Or exactly. Who was it? Somebody said, "How old are you? You look like you're in your 20s." I'm guessing 40. They're. Yeah. And Holder Heck says we're all pushing 40. I'm 37. How old are you?
I'm 33. I'm going to turn 34 in April.
Yeah. You know what like
I look way older than you. I know it's weird.
You don't. Well, you have more facial hair. So the facial hair and like your body.
It's gotta be the facial hair, right?
I don't think head hair makes you look old because I look like a baby. But your facial hair and just your body size. Cause I think I looked at some of your pictures too. And when you went from, I don't know what date it was. I should have written it down, but you went from like beach body fit to all of a sudden like muscly, like extra muscly. You just looked a couple years older, just because of the size. But 37, what the fuck? Yeah.
It's funny. I think about that sometimes. It's like, how much I probably eat. Like I'm probably eating the same amount in 1 year that if I normally ate that, it would take like 4 years to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like how much metabolic damage and how much am I aging myself just by like speeding up that process, the digestion and everything else. Like it's true. It kind of ages you, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, I
They
wonder
say
too, because there's
fasting is
like,
the best thing you could do,
well, and I would love to get into this too, because I dabbled in a lot of different things before I actually figured out macros and stuff. And like
Mm,
intermittent fasting was super useful to me. And I love the mental game of intermittent fasting. So now I'm kind of wondering, like, who is it? Terry Crews? I think he does intermittent fasting.
I don't know.
And he like fasts until, I don't know, like 1 o'clock or something. And that dude is like huge. You know Terry Crews,
Yes, yeah.
the actor.
Yep.
He's so huge and obviously a bodybuilder. So something works there. But when I'm eating in the morning, or when I'm working out in the morning, like I want to get that protein or make sure I've had the protein around then, so that can get transported through the body, because science says that's useful.
Yeah, I think to a degree, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I've tried all sorts of different things and it really didn't hinder my process or speed it up
Mm,
in any way after doing it for so many years. 12 years in the making, I've tried a bunch of different things: intermittent fasting, carnivore, paleo, whatever it is, long-term fast. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's really just about like getting the calories in. It's calories in, calories out. And it's like
sure.
cumulatively over like a week's time, if you're eating at a caloric surplus, that's what matters the most. And it's like, yes, you do want to split up the protein. Protein in general, in my opinion, yes, you probably want to split it up during the day just so you're like feeding your
Mm,
body protein consistently. But I
mhm.
think honestly, if you're just doing like 1 or 2 high doses of protein a day, you're probably going to be fine. You're probably going to build just enough muscle. Like I think
Sure.
when it comes down to like being a professional bodybuilder and you're really trying to optimize for the stage, maybe you probably want to do that. But for someone who's just like casually
I
lifting
see.
to look
Yeah.
good, naked, it's really just about just getting your numbers in, and that's why I
Yeah.
don't want to complicate things for people on stream, because it's like when people ask questions about that meal timing and stuff, I'm like, dude, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. You will get results. I've tried everything, and the science says just get the calories in, hit your protein
Hmm.
goals, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that's I'm glad we're having this conversation, because
Mm,
that's all awesome information. Um, and I haven't really started to experiment yet. Like we were talking about earlier, like get on the system and do the system, and that's going to be really good. I feel
right.
like I'm still within the system, and it's more of a mental game of just figuring it out. There it is. And Wendell's changing the light. That's what those biddies, not those biddies, those channel points are for. Um,
Are you doing that
but
manually?
nope, it's all automatic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's the nerdy part of what I do,
Yeah,
is
that's
all the
cool.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I do want to try it, because like yesterday when I was sick, I had like 340 calories. Like I like wanted to eat nothing, but I was like,
Mm.
oh, I need to eat something. And I probably shouldn't have had this, but I had a donut. We had a birthday at the house yesterday. We had donuts, and I was like, this is the only thing I can eat. So I ate it and I logged it, and I didn't puke or anything, which was great.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's the only thing you ate, right?
right, right.
So really you're just
I
in a
kept it
net
clean.
deficit. Are you trying to cut or bulk? I forget.
No, I'm bulking. So
So yeah, you got to double down today. So
I know. Well, and today was super light as well. Um, Vermilion, get out of here, Segason. Um, what? Oh, yeah, I'm like 3,300 calories or
hmm
so.
it's more than
And I
me.
think, yeah, I'm up to, what am I up to? I'm up to like 196.
Okay.
I might, I might try to hit 200
You're like
uh,
6 foot, right?
before the cut. I am,
Yeah.
yeah. So I do carry it a lot on my thighs. So then when I see your body, I'm like, oh, I could be like that, because you got some tree trunk legs like I do,
I
or
mean,
at
my
least
legs are
the
okay.
wide angle looks like it.
They're not like the Holder Heck legs, but my legs are okay. I mean, I built a good foundation, but yeah, my upper body is definitely like overpowers my lower body a little bit. But I'm like Johnny
Yeah.
Bravo at this point. So
Yeah, you got the nice V going.
the
Yeah.
V taper, yeah, everyone wants the V taper.
Yeah. Let's see. We got one more wheel here.
Okay,
So
all right.
let's I spin one color.
Yeah, let's see. I'll look. I wonder what we're gonna get.
Let's see what comes up. All right. So this is a fun one. This is what I do on my Friday show. So I have a podcast for my work, which is
Okay.
all kind of business focused, but it's fun. At the end of it, we typically do this: two truths and a lie. We've done so much story time already, but the point of this game is to come up with three stories. Two of them are true, one of them is a lie, and we got to guess them in chat. And typically, I send swag to people who guess correctly, but I don't have BitLife swag, so I'll have to think of something else. I'll write your names down and I'll give you mad props or something later, or when I get swag, I'll give you something.
So these stories we're making
that'll
up, or
be
you
worth
already
it.
have these prepared?
These are 3 stories that you're going to tell us.
Oh,
This is to get to know you a little bit more. And it can be, you want to trick people. So we got Sega and Holder and I don't know if you know Wendell in chat. Obey Supreme. You want to try to fool them.
okay.
And
it can be any
fool
story,
me.
right? Anything, right?
Yeah, any story, and kind of a pro move can be something that's very similar, or maybe a story that a
Sure.
family member tells, and you just tell that, or you change it. It wasn't Matthew McConaughey; it was Pink. You just change a key component of it.
Got it. Okay. So just go down the list, huh?
Yeah. So you tell us 3, and we got to figure out which one is the lie.
Okay. So this one time,
At
when I
band
was
camp?
at band camp, yes. When I was a little kid, I joined a recreation basketball team, and they needed like a ringer, and everyone thought I was like really bad at basketball. And I actually joined the game, and I like outscored everybody and was like on the team full time after that moment. And everyone had to try out for these rec teams, and somehow I just got my place because I had one crazy game. I was
just
like
walked on.
Yeah, and I was with my friends, and it was just we were vibing, and I was like shooting threes and just I was killing it, man. And it was
Nice.
like the highlight of my basketball career as like an 11-year-old or something. Nice. Let's see. Another story. So I used to go like deep sea fishing with my grandfather, and I was like, he paid for it, and like if you got the biggest fish, you'd win the pool. And my claim to fame, like around my family, especially when we talk about fishing, is my story is I caught this massive fish, and this thing was like huge. It was fluke flounder fishing, and caught this fish that was just like astronomically big. Like it was the biggest fish I think anyone had ever. I think it's like has a record on this boat. But I won like $120, and I was so pissed I had to pay the guy to fillet my fish. I was like a greedy little jerk, and it's like the worst memory I have of being like a greedy little kid. But won the pool, got a huge fish, have a picture to prove it. It was sick.
Yeah, Grandpa pays you so that you can pay the guy to fillet it.
Yeah, and then we went to that's a good one. I went to Disney World, and we went on like one of those the virtual reality rides in Universal, right? And my brother my older brother got on the ride, and he got like really badly injured, and he was on the whatchamacallit, the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids ride, So I don't know if you're familiar with that ride, but in one section of that ride, they actually, I don't know if they shoot these whips, or I'm pretty sure they're like these little whips that come out, but one of them was malfunctioning, like totally like scraped my brother's leg, and like has a scar like that big on the back of his leg. And I remember it was like a lot of blood. It was wild, dude. But like that's like a traumatic story, because I remember leaving the theater, and we had to go and like get him stitches or something. And I just remember being like, I'm never doing one of these rides again. So yeah, it was wild, dude. The Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing, like never again. If you go to Universal and that's there, dude, just be aware, because apparently they have these little whip mechanisms. All right, so what happens is a bunch of rats fall like on screen, and then you have these 3D goggles, and it looks like the rats are coming down. I don't know if any of you guys have done this ride. Come down, and they're supposed to like crawl under your seats. That's what it's supposed to be. But this one malfunctioned and messed up my brother's leg. Anyway, yeah, so never again. But those are my 3 stories. Yeah.
Ooh, this will be tough. You are a performer, because you said Disney World, but then you said Universal, so that seems like a lie. But there was so much verbosity in there.
Well, we went to Disney and Universal, so it was like a Orlando trip, whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
That a liar would say that, I'm sure.
Sure.
Segason says, tricky Acro. You're good at this. Joneses says the basketball's a lie. There's no way Acro can do basketball. I've found like my golf game has gotten a lot worse. I was never good at golf, but since training, I've gotten a lot worse at golf. Like,
You know,
just
the out of shape guys who are like fat and just smoking all the time, they got it down because they don't have to do anything except golf, and they have their
except
swing
that
down,
one
you
move.
know?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah, all my muscles are like trying to do other things when I'm trying to swing that club. Holder says you're going to go with the fish. Oh, Eddie, you got timed out.
Well, you know what? I
I'm
actually
sorry.
have photos of some of this stuff, so like I can try to pull up the photos real quick. So that way, like I could show you what's real and what's not real. You want?
Yeah.
Hold on.
And we need a picture of your brother's scar.
Yep. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up the 2 real ones and the 1 fake one. So you guys keep guessing.
I do allow some swearing. I guess I just haven't. Maybe you said the C word. I feel like I don't allow the C word.
What's the C word? he's like, is he gonna say it? He's like,
damn
oh,
it!
you know,
I was like,
wait.
I was gonna spell it. My kids will get me with that too. No effing way Acro does basketball. I don't know. I kind of want that to be the truth now. Cantaloupe. That's the C word. Yeah. So one is basketball team. They needed a ringer. Instead, they got Acro, but he just destroyed, and he got to walk on, and he didn't have to audition.
Did not. Yep. Didn't have to try out. That's correct.
Second, deep sea fishing with your grandfather. Your grandfather paid for it, and the biggest fish got the pool. You caught a massive fish, won $120, but you had to pay somebody to fillet it.
Yeah, and I was very upset about it. Yep.
And then you went to Disney World, wink, and also Universal.
Yeah.
Your older brother got badly injured on the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids ride, where the rats come through and something slaps you, and it was malfunctioning.
And it traumatized me.
Oh my gosh. Those all sound so real. And Daiko, welcome to the stream. So, all right. Everyone's voting basketball. You have a long cultural history of basketball.
I'm trying to find. There's a couple photos. There's one more photo I gotta find. I don't know why I can't find it, but it's okay. If I don't find it, I'll just.
Yeah. Is this the fish or the scar?
Of the photo? I'm not telling you which photos I'm looking for.
Ooh, interesting.
All right. So are we ready for the reveal, or?
Yeah, let's see. Have you guys all submitted your votes? Eddie, you said Rec Team or Disney. You got to pick one. You can't pick both.
Yeah, you got to pick one.
Let's see. I'm gonna go.
I'm actually having a hard time finding this. I have so many Facebook photos, so I'm like digging through them.
Counter-Strike, deep sea fishing. I'm gonna go with basketball as well. Eddie says the fish. All right, I think we've locked in our votes.
Wow.
Sir Acro.
I seriously, I stumped every single one of you guys. So the lie was, so the fish story is true. I'm actually trying to find the photo of the fluke. Here it is. All right. So I don't know if I can share my screen.
I think you have down below. I think there should be like a.
Okay. Let me
share.
So I found this guy. So the flounder story is real. I'm going to pull that up right now. So let me pull up that. Share screen. Can I like just pick screen one here?
Yeah, you can select the tab.
Can you see that? Can we see that?
Yep.
Okay, so the fish story is real.
Is that baby Ari?
Baby Ari. Yep.
Aww.
That's my giant fish. Seriously,
dude, what is that?
That is a flounder, and these flounders don't get this big over here. So the fish story was real, 100% real. That's like my claim to fame for fishing. Let me see if I can find the other photo real quick. I'm gonna stop sharing just so I don't reveal anything else. And the other one that is real is the basketball thing. I actually was really good at basketball. I went to like a basketball camp. I actually got skills on the court. I have a photo of me on the team. Let me just see if I can find it real quick. But the fake.
Do you still have skills?
I haven't played basketball in a while, but I'm pretty sure I could dunk on some of you. So no,
that'll be our meetup.
Yeah. So
it'll be a basketball game.
The basketball is real, and the fake story was in fact my brother's traumatic thing. So it's a little bit of a truth, half truth, and you actually caught on that. That was good. Nice. My brother, we went there, and he actually got like scratched. I wasn't traumatized. I just remember him saying he got scratched. So that's the only reason I brought that up. But yeah, that was a total lie. Like he never bled. We never went to the hospital. nothing. I'm just a great liar. So
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, but I'm trying to
Just
find the basketball shot, but
hyperbole.
I can't really. Sorry, I can't really find it. But I was on the basketball team, guys. Trust me, I was on the basketball team, and I was so good.
I don't know if it's not on Twitch. It didn't happen.
That's
I feel
true.
like.
Yeah, if you guys want to bear with me just for another second, I swear, I just
Yeah.
want to pull up this photo.
That'll be the meetup. Ari kicks everyone's ass at basketball, and just how dumb the rest of us look playing basketball.
You know what's funny? I went and played basketball with some coworkers. They were just doing like pickup games. Like, oh, you want to play? Have you ever played before? I'm like, yeah, I play basketball, whatever. And man, since I like put on all the muscle, it was after I did all that.
Yeah,
I was so slow, and I was like overshooting, and I'm just like, man, like I am rusty as F. But I played for a while, and then I kind of got my groove back, and I was okay, you know. But man, when I was a little kid, it was like all I cared about was playing basketball. I wanted to go pro. Oh man, it was a good time.
There's still a chance. Just become the guy who can shoot from the opposite end of the court, you know. Just really work on that range.
I had a really good hook shot. My dad would call it Ari's famous hook shot because I would never get it in. My dad would troll me. My dad would troll me so bad. He'd be like, just use your Ari's, my brother too. Just use your famous hook shot. Like, because they knew I sucked at doing the hook shot, but like everything else was kind of okay. But
that's amazing.
Yeah, so yep, no traumatizing story. I can't find the photo, but yeah, it's definitely on the
that's
team,
all right,
guys. Believe me, believe me.
The chat doesn't, but I believe you. Yeah. Eddie says, now you're gonna die if you play again. Big things fall hard. Dude, I'm afraid of falling as an adult. Like, I mean, slipping and just, you know, falling. Like, oh, as soon as I fall, I'm like, okay, shoulders good, back good, lower back, leg, okay, we're good. I'm okay. Like I run through that mentally when I fall if I'm playing sports.
So what about like heights? Are you okay with heights? Or
I'm not okay with heights. Also, you guys have to remember, I'm like 10%, at least 10%. I'm 20% older than Ari. So I'm pretty damn old. I gotta be careful with this.
You can't break your hip, you know.
I'm terrified of heights, but I love the thrill of it. So as long as I'm convinced I'm safe, I'll freaking do it.
I won't even attempt anything that's too high above the ground. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
good.
I love those things. Restaurants and bridgeways or bridges and things that have like glass on the bottom. Like,
oh yeah, that freaks me out.
Yeah, I would like to try bungee jumping at some point. Maybe skydiving. It sounds like fun. I'm probably, you know, if you die, you're going to die in a car accident before you die in one of those things. So yeah, I'd be cool with that. We did hit all the wheel. I feel like we should wrap it up.
Yeah, sure. This is awesome.
Yeah, I've taken enough of your time. Thanks so much for coming on and just hanging.
Yeah. No, awesome. I thought this would be great. You know, I would love to be able to, just so you know, and anyone else who's listening, I would love to be able to do this more in any way, shape, or form, whether it's with you or with another person. Because I think just having more exposure to people in the community as a community itself, you know, and having these type of activities, especially with people interacting, is awesome. So yeah, we should definitely do this more, and I'm glad you're doing it with more people in the community. I've heard you're probably going to, not to spoil it, but
yeah, man, I'm trolling people, and so that's a good segue. So next week, next Tuesday, we've got Cool Runnings. That'll be Joe hanging out, and Eddie, I think you're next Thursday. I am getting some fillings done, and I've never had fillings before, so I'll let you know how I'm like, if I can talk.
You will.
Okay.
They're not that bad. I have a couple. Okay. I think it'll be fine. If you're not, I'm gonna be questioning who did the fillings. But I think
what they did. Yeah, they're like, lay down. We're gonna put you out, and then they put this big glove on, and
they literally just clean it out and then caulk you. You know,
they had to go the long way.
They had to go. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, my friend.
Why is a proctologist here?
You know what? So heart stuff is crazy. My friend had chemo, and the chemo comes in like through here.
Okay.
And her, whatever that is, catheter got pinched and cut. Ooh. So then it got cut off and like went into her bloodstream through her heart into her lungs. So in order for the doctors to get that out, they had to go in the groin, up through the heart, and then into the lungs. Like, that stuff is crazy. Like, I can't even snake a drain.
I think
right?
isn't that how they do like angioplasty at some point? Weren't they doing it through
Yes,
the leg? Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes. Isn't that like I don't understand how they can, do that. Like
yeah.
again, the technology there is
It's
crazy,
wild.
but
It's wild.
that's neither here or there.
Yeah, another time.
We're hanging with Acro. We didn't even get your maxes. Do you know them these days?
I knew my previous maxes. Just so you know, I always wanted to hit 500-pound deadlift. I did. That was my previous max, like in
Nice.
2013. 400-pound squat again, 2013 or
Oof.
2014, and then a 365 bench, which was way later because I could still bench because I had the back injury and I can't load up the spine, so I don't know what my maxes are, which I'm not really concerned. But I do
Sure.
like to lift heavy, but I try not to go too heavy.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems to be some numbers that people throw around. So I was like, oh, maybe those would be interesting. Maybe I'll
For
get a
me,
graphic next
just
time.
just a number because like I can still build a good
Yeah.
physique without lifting heavy ass bench. Everyone's
Yeah.
obsessed with heavy benches. By the way, I am trying to increase my bench, Eddie. And me and Eddie have this thing. I told Eddie to put it on Eddie put it on his calendar. He's like, Acro's gonna bench 3 plates, 315 for a set of 10 by April 5th. And that's still like one of my goals, but deadlifting and squatting, we'll play it by ear. We'll see how I do,
Dude. Yeah. Well, and just goals. Like, I don't know. I don't ever want to lift super crazy heavy, but something heavy, once in a while.
Yeah, just take your time, don't rush it. That's the
Yeah.
main thing.
Yeah. Again, like the look good, feel good type of body.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Too Curious Millennial. Hope you're not too curious. You know what they say about curiosity. We're just wrapping up here, so good time to jump in. You can catch us again. You can catch Ari. Let's see. Let's do this. This will come up. Spell it right. There we go. Check out Acro on his stream. When are you back? Are you back on Friday, did you say?
Yeah, so I'm going to be, this is like sketchy, but I'm going to be streaming the Arnold Classic commentary. So like we're not actually streaming the Arnold Classic, hint, hint, but we are streaming the commentary. So it's going to be a lot of the Arnold Classic stuff, which is a bodybuilding / weightlifting competition they do in Columbus, Ohio. And it's a 2-3 day event, but we're going to stream for 2 days. And it's Friday, Saturday, probably all day streams. So you're going to see 8 hours of Acroshi. And then when you see me again, I don't know. My schedule there's no set schedule. So whenever I come back.
Yeah. And you said you're working on that schedule, right? Is that something you think you'll have soon or? The
schedule will be more set in stone when I'm in the new house, which will be in mid-April. So when I'm in the new house and the gym is set up, I'll probably have a more set schedule, which I'm thinking as of right now, 4 or 5 days a week, same time ish. And I don't know when that's going to be yet, but we'll figure it out.
Cool. Yeah. We'll obviously share. That's how the community works. So check back for that. Let's see. Should we raid someone? I don't know any of these late night streamers. Dr.
Let me
Weapons,
see. Let's see who's on.
Martini Monsters. We should maybe we could start a train that lasts until we're back in the morning. That'd be great.
Let's see.
Here, I'll do some shout outs for Cole.
Kathy just went live. She doesn't get a whole lot of, I don't know if you know Kathy Mieko. She's a part of the community too. She does like gymnastics and strength training, Olympic weightlifting. She's pretty awesome.
Yeah, what's her name?
Let's see if I can just put this in.
Let's see. Oh, Kathy Mieko.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. We'll do that. Let's show the love there. Let's see. All right, cool. That's what we're going to do. We're going to share the love. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out and tuning in. I'll probably throw this on YouTube as well. So Great. Do all the things, the like, the subscribe, hit up Acroshi. You can check them out on YouTube as well, Project Acro. If you go on there and be like, hey, do some more stuff, comment on his videos. Maybe he can create some more content for us.
Yeah, maybe you'll convince me. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Thank you very much for having me on here. This is awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.